Next start. First person is Hakeem Bell. Are you here this morning?
We would ask for a reset, Your Honor. He's still in hospital. We'd ask for a reset for 24 hours after he's released.
Okay, we'll go ahead and reset this 24 hours after he's released.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we have George Bonet Ortiz.
Bonded, Your Honor.
Okay. Eugene Carrasco.
PD approved.
Okay, thank you. Please state your name for the record. You can grab the microphone, it's right next to you. You can grab the microphone right next to you so we can hear.
Eugene Carrasco.
Thank you. Okay, you do qualify for the Public Defender's Office, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're being charged here with a violation of probation. I'm finding probable cause. And there'll be no bond. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes?
could we give the previous one, Benet Ortiz, what happened to that?
He bonded out.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. And for the record, Peter Donnelly for the State Attorney's Office.
Thank you. Kermic Crespo Rivera. We're here for two cases. Kermic Crespo Rivera.
He's PD approved, Your Honor. And
Okay.
for the record, Callie Chrysler, Assistant Public Defender.
Thank you. Go ahead and please state your name for the record. You can use the microphone next to you.
Pick it up. State your name.
Kirk McCrespo Rivera.
Okay. Good morning. We're here today in regards to two separate cases. You are PD approved, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you for both cases. The first case is failure to appear, so I find probable cause. In regards to the second case, it is a violation of probation. I find probable cause and no bond for that charge, but for the first one, I'll give $2,000 bond. So the first charge is $2,000,
Yes, Your
second
Honor.
is none.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, the COs have asked that Luis Natal Monage be taken next. They've brought him in.
Let me see if I can get his
It's
paper.
the reset from yesterday.
Is that in the stack over here? Luis
It's the-
Natal.
It was the.
I've got it.
We were missing the. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll call Luis Natal Monge. Please state your name for the record.
Luis Nadal.
Okay. Is he PD approved?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent him. What says the state in regards to this case?
Your Honor, the state's seeking no bond in this case. The arrest warrant specifically states count one, count two, zero bond. The state's seeking the court to find that proof evident presumption great in this case. A person who knows the defendant personally stated that the defendant admitted to the shooting after being asked to do the shooting, and that the defendant made claims about the shooting that would only be known by someone who was at the shooting.
What says?
Your Honor, we would argue that, that is not enough. The police report is hearsay in and of itself. There is no written affidavit signed by the person saying that information, and that it is not enough for proof evident presumption great.
Your Honor,
And that would be under Preston v.G.
Says the state?
That's the hearsay, that's party opponent and a statement against interest. The state maintains its position. This is proof evident presumption great.
Again, it's Preston v.G. 133 Southern 3rd, 1218, decided in the second DCA in 2014. The police report that it would not be sufficient for proof evident presumption great. I mean, a high bond could be stated, but he is entitled to bond by his constitutional rights entitled him to bond, and yeah.
I'm rereading the arrest warrant. going to find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent the defendant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Going to find no bond, proof evident, presumption great.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. That's it. We're good. Thank you, Your
Eugene-
Honor.
You're welcome. Eugene Doyle.
He's PD approved, Your Honor.
Okay. Go ahead and please state your name for the record.
Eugene Doyle.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender's office to go ahead and represent you. I find probable cause for this battery. I'm going to set a bond at $3,500. No contact with the victim, no return to the offense, do not possess weapons or firearms.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Billy Joe Fish.
I believe so. Your Honor, with Doyle, PTR would like to know, is that with PTR?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Fish, go ahead and state your name for the record.
Billy Joe Fish.
If you use the microphone, we can hear you.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Billy Joe Fish.
Okay, thank you. Does she qualify for PD?
Yes, Your Honor, she does.
Okay, I'll go ahead and appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm finding probable cause. You're charged with knowingly driving on a suspended driver's license or a Dwillis with knowledge. I'm going to go ahead and set your bond in the amount of $500.
Your Honor, we would argue that this is part of the state attorney's policy for ROR, and we would ask that she be released on her own recognizance.
What does the state say?
State agrees.
Okay, go ahead and ROR.
Thank you.
So we have Adriel Gonzalez Perez.
PD approved, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and state your name for the record.
Pedro Gonzalez.
I'm sorry, if you use the microphone, we can hear you.
Pick up the phone.
Adriel Gonzalez.
Okay, thank you, good morning. You are PD approved, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to go ahead and represent you. We're here today on 3 charges. The court is finding probable cause. Those 3 charges are possession of marijuana under 20 grams, possession of drug paraphernalia, and tampering with evidence. I'm going to go ahead and set bond. Count 1, $250. Count 2, $250. Count 3, $2,500.
Your Honor, I would argue that probable cause in this is, these are merely legal conclusions. We have no reason for the stop. We have no reason of anything beyond that. It's basically a recitation of the statutory requirements.
Okay, a motion can be filed in front of the judge who's hearing the case.
Yes, Your Honor. Go ahead. Stop.
There's also a different case in regards to Adriel Gonzalez Perez. It's case number 2018 CF 4401. The court's going to take no action at this
Yes, Your
time.
Honor.
Your Honor, could I get the bond amounts?
Okay.
For Gonzalez Perez?
Yes.
Okay. Count 1, $250. Count 2, $250. Count 3, $2,500.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. And I'm taking no action on 2018 CF 4401. Next, we have...
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Next, we have Carson Haid. Carson Haid. Please state your name for the record.
Carson Hay.
Okay. Is he PD approved?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm finding probable cause. You're here today on synthetic narcotics possession and possession and use of drug paraphernalia. What says the state on the issue of bond?
State would be seeking the scheduled $10,000 bond and a residual $100 bond.
Okay. What says the defense?
We would ask for a reasonable bond that he could afford in this case.
I'll lower the bond from count 2, but not for count 1. So count 1 will be $10,000, count 2 will be $100. If he still can't afford that, he can file a motion in front of the judge presiding over the case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alana Jenkins? We're here for 2 cases in regards to
PD
Ms. Jenkins.
PD approved, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Jenkins, I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office for both of your cases. Go ahead and state your name for the record.
Elena Jenkins.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're here today in regards to failure to register as a convicted felon and also operating a motor vehicle with no valid driver's license. I'm going to find probable cause for both cases. PD's appointed in regards to both cases.
Yeah.
What says the state in the issue of bond?
State would be seeking $250 in each case.
What says defense?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, $250 for each case then.
No objection. Okay.
Felix
You're good.
Yarez.
PD approved, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's
And
Office to
he's-
represent him.
He is standing in the middle back, Your Honor.
Okay, is there any way to bring the
Can you
mic?
see him?
The mic, yes, I can see him, but is there any way I can bring the microphone to him so that he can state his name for the record?
He's being brought up, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Once I have his name on the record, he can go back to the back if he needs to.
Yes, Your Honor.
Just want to make sure we have the right person.
Yes, Your Honor. State your name.
Please state your name
Felix
for the
Jerez.
record.
Felix Jerez.
Okay. You are PD approved, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you today. You're charged here today with battery. I am finding probable cause. What says the state?
Your Honor, the state would be seeking scheduled monetary bond, no contact with the victim.
Going to order $1,000 bond, no contact with the victim, no return to the scene of the offense,
And no weapons as well.
and no weapons and firearms.
Your Honor, we would ask for PTR with mental health conditions.
No, we're going to keep it as a monetary bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, we have Eric Jobson.
He's PD approved, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent him. Find probable cause on this case, which is violation of probation. I'm going to set the bond at none.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Here for Zachary Lopez. Please state your name for the record.
Zachary Lopez.
Okay, is he PD approved?
Yes, Your Honor, he's PD approved.
Was that a yes?
Yes, Your Honor, he was.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent him. Find probable cause for what he's charged with today, which is a duelist or driving while license suspended, third offense. Bond is going to be set at $2,500. No driving without a valid driver's license.
Your Honor, since this is a driving case as well, would the state recommend ROR?
What says the state?
No, Your Honor, the state's seeking the monetary bond.
This is the third offense, so we're going to keep it
Yes,
as a
Your Honor.
monetary bond. Thank you.
The defendant's also
Yes, Your
currently
Honor.
out on bond on another driving while license suspended case.
Yes, I see that. I'm going to take no action on that case. That's 2019 CT 706.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Next is Donald Miller. Please state your name for the record.
Donald Miller.
He's PD approved.
going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're charged here today with petty theft. I'm going to fine PC. Set a bond at $500 and no return to Publix. Thank you.
Yeah, have a seat.
Dondre Morgan.
PD approved, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent him. Please state your name for the record.
DeAndre Morgan.
Okay. Okay. You're here in regards to having your license suspended with knowledge. I'm finding probable cause. What says the state on the issue of bond?
Your Honor, state would seek ROR.
Okay. Do ROR.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Joshua O'Connor.
He refused to fill out an affidavit, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. O'Connor, do you wish the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, or are you going to seek your own attorney? You going to hire one?
My own attorney.
I'm sorry, it's hard for me to hear you.
I'm my own attorney.
You're going to hire your own attorney? Do you want to move forward with your hearing today, or do you want to reset it so that your attorney can be present?
No, you do it now.
You wanna have it now?
What the bond could be.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and have it now then. Okay. You're charged with 4 counts, burg dwelling, unarmed, grand theft, less than $300, criminal mischief, and possession of burglary tools. I'm going to find probable cause on all 4 counts. I'm going to set a bond on all 4 cases today. First count, the bond is $5,000. Second count, $500. Third count, $500. Fourth count, $500. For a total bond amount of $6,500.
State also seeks no contact, no return.
Yes, no contact and no return. Orlando Padilla Miranda. Orlando Padilla Miranda.
PD approved, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you at this time. Go ahead and state your name for the record.
Orlando Bahia Miranda.
Okay. You're here today on a failure to appear on a written promise. I'm going to find probable cause. Bond is set at $2,999.
No.
Thank you. Next, we have Rios Martin Eliezer.
PD approved, Your Honor. Pick up in a second.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent him. Please state your name for the record.
Eliezer Rios, Martyr.
You're charged with DUI accident and DUI alcohol. I'm finding probable cause for both. Set bond on count 1, $1,000, count 2, $500, and the condition of do not consume alcohol. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a seat.
Next up, we have Jorge Riveras, if I'm pronouncing that correct.
PD approved,
Thank you.
PD approved, Your Honor.
Go ahead and please state your name for the record.
Jorge Vivas.
Okay. We're here today in regards to a battery case. I'm finding probable cause. I'm going to set bond at $1,000, no contact with the victim, maintain separate residence. Thank you. And I'm not going to take any action on the other case which you had, which is 2019 CT 1154.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Next, we have Joseph Thomas.
He's still in medical, Your Honor. Could we reset?
Yeah, we'll reset. Do you want to reset for 24 hours or reset within 24 hours of when he gets released?
Oh, when he gets released.
Okay, 24 hours when he gets released, reset.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks. Stephen Erickson,
PD approved, Your Honor.
okay. I'll go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent him for these two cases that we have. Go ahead and state your name for the record.
Steven Erickson.
Thank you. We're here for two cases. They are both violations of probation on view. If I find probable cause for both, appoint Public Defender's Office to represent you in both cases. I'm going to set zero bond on both cases. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Joseph Michael Jr.,
PD approved, Your Honor.
thank you.
Come on up, yep, right here.
Please state your name for the record.
Michael McDonald, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm finding probable cause on this case of trespass after warning. What says the state in regards to bond?
Your Honor, the state would be seeking the $250 monetary bond as this was after warning.
What says the defense?
We would ask for either direct PTR or ROR, Your Honor.
I'm going to do PTR. No return to the Walmart.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. I think that's our last Osceola case. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, that is. Have a happy Easter.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Your Honor, just for the interpreter's benefit, how many Spanish cases are there? Thank you.
We're here today for Ivan Rabana Les Perez. Can the interpreter make contact with the headphones?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Thank
Yes,
you.
the interpreter hadn't said anything because there was no defendant there.
Thank you. Thank you. Steve?
Peter Donnelly on behalf of the state of Florida.
Okay. Ivan Rabana Les Perez. Please go ahead and state your name for the record.
Iván Rabanales Pérez.
Ivan Rabanales Pérez.
And can you hear the Spanish interpreter clearly?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Has the Public Defender's Office been previously appointed to represent this client?
Not on this case.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you on this case. I'm going to find probable cause. There are 2 counts here. I'm going to find probable cause on both. They are both failures to appear. So I'm going to order no bond. Gonzalo Pestamalan. Please state your name for the record.
Gonzalo Pestana Milian.
Gonzalo Pastrana Milian.
Pestana, Pestana.
And can you hear the Spanish interpreter clearly?
Yes.
Thank you. Has the Public Defender's Office been previously appointed to represent this defendant?
No, I don't know.
Did he fill out a form?
Was it provided to him in Spanish?
That could have been it. I'm going to go ahead and provisionally appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent him. I don't know if he ever got that form or not, but I'm just going to go ahead and provisionally appoint PD's office.
He qualifies for straight pretrial release with the court being inclined to issue pretrial release. He has no prior failures to appear.
Perdón.
What says the state?
Your Honor, the state would be seeking a monetary bond as one of the counts is a felony.
I'm going to find probable cause for 3 counts. And the 3 counts that you're charged with today are count 1, grand theft, 3rd degree. Count 2, retail theft, alone or coordinating with others. And count 3, larceny, retail theft in multiple locations within 48 hours. For count 1, I'm going to set a bond at $2,500. Count 2, $150. Count 3, $150. No return to the scene of the offense.
Y tiene 10%.
Lewis?
So is there a 10%?
Oh, your attorney can answer that question.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Luis Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you? Do you need the interpreter?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you today provisionally.
I have a private attorney.
Okay, then I won't. Do you want to continue with your hearing today, or do you want to reset it so your attorney can be present?
My attorney's name's Spencer Rhodes. So I don't know what you want me to do.
I can't make that decision for you, only you can make that decision.
Yes, I would like to get my bond set today, please, ma'am.
Okay, so you want to move forward, is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and find probable cause today. You're charged with ag assault. I'm going to set your bond at $2,500, no return, and no contact with the victim.
Yes, ma'am. Happy Easter.
Thank you, you too. Lede Campusano,
Yeah.
please state your name for the record.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead and state your name for the record.
Lady Campuzano Rosario?
Do you need the services of the interpreter today?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry? Oh, the victim needs the services of the interpreter. Okay.
I'm out of order. I'm like really confused.
Is there any way we can get an interpreter for the victim?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Go ahead and state your name for the record.
Mire, del Teresa Cortés Cortés.
Okay.
Mirelde Teresa Cortés Cortés.
Okay. I'm going to find that the defendant does qualify for the services of the public defender, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender's office. Currently, you're
Determina-
charged with 4 counts. First count, robbery, sudden snatching. Second count, tampering with a witness. Third count, battery, domestic violence, fourth count petty theft, and I'm going to find probable cause for all 4 counts. Would the victim like to say something here today? You're not required to, but if you'd like to, you can.
¿Quiere quiere la víctima expresarse aquí el día de hoy? No está obligada a hacerlo. Si gusta hacerlo, puede hacerlo.
Sí.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Bueno, diga.
Ok, este es el tercer caso que ella tiene con DCF. Me quitaron mi nieto porque ella le puso un blanket en la cara. Ella tiene posparto, está embarazada, yo lo entiendo. Pero lo que pasó ayer, todavía estoy en shock. O sea, no puedo creerlo. Lo que sí quiero es una orden inmediata de protección para mí y mi familia. Ella amenazó a mi hija, inclusive le rompió el celular de mi mamá, me agredió en el ojo, tengo rojo el ojo por dentro, que tuve que ir al hospital con el celular y puño. Y en esta área de la cabeza quiero esa orden de protección, quiero un no trespassing de ella, y si van a buscar sus cosas, que sea otra persona, no la quiero en mi casa ya.
Okay, allow the interpreter to go ahead and interpret that.
Y quiero todo el peso que él se le pueda dar a ella para que aprenda.
Señora, permítame interpretar. Tengo que interpretar. Permítame un momento. Okay, the interpreter just needs a clarification, Judge.
Okay.
Señora, usted dijo que quería una orden de protección para usted y su familia porque ella le hizo algo a su mamá. No escuché esa parte.
Mi mamá presenció lo que pasó ayer, está nerviosa, por lo que me pasó a mí ayer. Temo por la seguridad de mi familia y el que venga de frente.
Ok, solo quería saber lo que dijo en cuanto a su mamá. This is the third case that she has with DCF. My grandson has been taken away, and she placed a blanket over his face, and I understand that she has postpartum, she's pregnant, and I understand that. But I still can't believe what happened yesterday. I'm in shock, so I would like a protection order for myself and my family. My mother witnessed everything that happened, and she hurt my eye with her cell phone and a fist. And I would like a no trespassing order on her, and if she needs her belongings picked up, that it be someone else and not her.
Would the state like to inquire?
No, Your Honor.
Anything on behalf of the defense?
No, Your Honor, we'd just be asking for a one-time return if you're going to order a do not return with law enforcement.
Okay. Once again, I found probable cause on all 4 cases. I'm going to go ahead and set bond. Bond for count 1, $1,000. Bond for count 2, $1,000. Bond for count 3, $1,000. And bond for count 4, $250. I'm also going to order no contact with the victim, no return to the residence except for one time to retrieve belongings.
Does Your Honor want the interpreter to interpret this?
Yes,
that portion?
please.
Okay. Determino que hay motivo fundado en estos casos, en los 4 casos, y voy a asignarle una fianza a cada cargo. La fianza para el primer cargo es de $1,000, para el segundo cargo es de $1,000, para el tercer cargo es de $1,000, para el cuarto es de $250. También le impongo que le está prohibido el contacto con la víctima, le está prohibido regresar a esa residencia, le permito regresar una vez únicamente para recoger sus pertenencias.
Pero ella no va sola, va con un policía, ¿verdad?
But she's not going to go there alone. She's going to be with a cop, correct?
I ordered that she's allowed to go one time with law enforcement to retrieve her belongings. That's one time only with law enforcement.
La orden que he impuesto es que a ella se le permite regresar una sola vez acompañada a las autoridades para recoger sus pertenencias, solamente una vez con las autoridades.
Okay.
Are there any other issues that you have for here today?
I'm sorry, is this a question directed?
Yes,
to
for the victim. Is there anything else she wants us to know?
¿Hay alguna otra cosa que usted quería que sepamos?
Bueno, que si le pueden dar en verdad ayuda psicológica, que alienten a un hospital psiquiátrico, porque temo por la seguridad del que venga. Si me lo hizo a mí, que se lo haga a otra persona. Ella no ha cogido ayuda.
¿Ella nunca qué?
No ha cogido ayuda psicológica por el posparto, por el embarazo y...
Okay. Well, that she be given help, psychological help, because really, I fear for the safety of any other person, because if she did this to me, she can do this to someone else, and she's never gotten any help.
Okay. That's an issue for a later day, so I thank you for coming today and let us know your concerns, okay?
Ese es un tema para otro día, en realidad, pero le agradezco el que haya estado aquí presente y nos haya expresado sus preocupaciones
Especially
y
on a
sus
holiday.
inquietudes, en particular siendo un día festivo. Gracias.
Thank you. That was Lede conclusion, right? So that's it, that's all the Spanish interpreter cases, is that correct? Okay.
May the interpreter be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Mariela Hill, please state your name for the record.
Mariela Hill.
Okay. I reviewed your affidavit, which is your application for indigent status, and I find that you do not qualify for the services of public defender, so you can hire your own private counsel if you so choose. I'm going to find probable cause in regards to this case. You're charged with battery, domestic violence. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000 and order no contact with the victim.
She qualifies for pretrial release and has no criminal history or FTAs.
What says the state?
State's still seeking the monetary bond, Your Honor.
I agree. The facts of this case deserve a monetary bond, so.
No alternative address either, Your Honor.
Is an alternative address?
Yes, an alternative.
Okay. Caleb Osorio, please state your name for the record. Thank you.
Caleb Osorio.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
It's Caleb Osorio.
Okay, I find that you do not qualify for the appointment of the PD based upon your application. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread your check that you put weekly or every 2 weeks. So you paid $600 weekly or every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender's office to represent you then. I'm sorry, your check was kind of in the middle, and I thought it was one versus the other. So I'm going to find probable cause in regards to your case. You're charged with battery, domestic violence. I'm going to order bond in the amount of $1,000, no contact with the victim, and maintain separate residence.
I was told that the victim said they dropped the charges, and as well, I mean,
Only the state can file charges, and you can go ahead and file a motion in front of the judge who's handling the case.
Did we get no contact, no return in that case?
No contact, no return. Maintain separate residence. Gracia Redding. Go ahead and state your name for the record.
Jerica Redding.
Okay. I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the public defender's office, so I'm going to appoint them to represent you. I'm finding probable cause in regards to your case. You're charged with battery, domestic violence. What says the state in the issue of bond?
State seeking a monetary bond, no contact, and no return.
What says the defense?
She has no failures to appear and only one felony conviction. We'd ask for a reasonable bond that she could afford. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Please disregard what I just said.
It's okay. I believe she is the daughter of the victim, is that correct?
I believe so, yes. We would just ask for a monetary bond that she could afford.
Can I go ahead and set it at $1,000, no contact with the victim, no return to the residence?
Yes, with a bond.
Javette Lapointe? He refused? Okay. Thanks.
We resetting that till tomorrow?
We're going to go ahead and reset this case for tomorrow. Danielle McMillan,
Yes, ma'am.
please state your name for the record.
Danielle Aiken McMillan.
Let me just make sure I understand your affidavit correctly. It says you make how much money per week?
I was working for the police, but I don't know if it's in the system or not, but I kept hearing about it. But I don't make that much. I make it off of SSI too.
Okay, because it says that you're currently making $3,000 a week. Is that correct?
But SSI, yes. That was my income.
She says she gets a social security check for $900 a month.
But I was working for, I went to school for something, and then I looked it up online, and I kept getting paid for it.
Okay, so did you mean to put $300 a week, or did you mean to
No,
put
I
$3,000
put
a
SSI,
week?
I didn't know that I get it yet, but I was working for the police, because I went to school for it, and then they kept asking me to work for them. So I don't know why I'm in jail, and I was making at least
I'm just trying to clarify how much,
$3,000 a week. Like, not a week, but partially every month I was getting, like, off of my checks. But I had to lay off because I had got hurt. Sweet.
So you're not working right now then?
Not right now. 'cause
So you
I'm
don't
laid
make
off.
any money right now?
Right now, I get SSI and social benefits.
so does that mean she is making money, or she's not making money?
So she says she's not working, so that means she's not making money from that, but she still gets social security,
They
which
cut
she
me
said
off.
is $900 a month.
Okay, I'm gonna find she qualifies for appointment with the public defender. I'm gonna find probable cause because there's two counts here. There are two failures to appear. So that's why you're here today, because there were two failures to appear.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and set that at no bond.
There's also there's a prostitution.
Let me
That one got
s-
dropped because it
let's
wasn't.
see if
really-
that's attached. Ask question of your attorney, please. I wanna make sure you don't say something that could be potentially used against you. Everything is being recorded here today.
The arrest affidavit only indicates that she has prior arrests for prostitution, not conviction, so we'd ask for a misdemeanor bond on that.
I am looking for the paperwork for that case. I don't see it. See two failures to appear.
Didn't print off for me either.
Okay, I've got it now. Okay, I'm finding probable cause for the offense of prostitution. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you in regards to that case. I'm gonna set a bond at $2,500.
Huh?
I'm gonna set a bond of $2,500 for that charge. Jerry Dunbar? Go ahead and state your name for the record.
Jerry Lynn Dunbar.
Okay. I'm going to find that you do qualify for the services of the Public Defender's Office, so I'm going to appoint them to represent you today.
Ma'am, I can.
I'm finding that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I'm going to appoint them to represent you here today.
Okay.
You're here today charged with three things: disorderly conduct at a public establishment, trespass on property after warning, and resisting officer without violence. I'm finding probable cause on all three counts. What says the state in regards to bond?
I don't understand.
They would be seeking monetary bond on resisting officer without violence and ROR on the other two.
You're seeking bond on which case?
On the resisting officer without violence?
Mr. Dunbar qualifies for pretrial release, so if you're gonna ROR him on two cases, we would ask that you give him straight pretrial release. In the alternative, he has no failures to appear, and he only has 4 misdemeanor convictions.
Okay, I'll do pretrial release.
On all three?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're going home.
Uh,
She can't plea you today. They'll do
Okay.
you plea later.
Bye.
Sean Fuller? Please state your name for the record.
Sean Fuller.
I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I'm going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with trespass on property after a warning, and I do find probable cause for that charge. What says the state on the issue of bond?
Your Honor, the state would seek ROR in this case.
Okay, we'll do ROR. Thank you.
Never again.
Michael Harris. Please state your name for the record.
Ma'am?
Please state your name for the record.
Michael Harris, sometimes Michael Harris. they call me.
Okay. I find that you qualify for appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint them to represent you. You're here today on a violation of conditional release. I'm going to find probable cause. What says the state on the issue of bond?
State would be seeking no bond in this case.
What says defense?
The warrant says zero bond, so I can't make a good faith argument.
We'll do new bond. Thank you.
I don't have that much more. What's the case number on that?
I'm looking for it now. I don't think I have that paperwork. Is there paperwork for another case on this one? This is on another case. I don't have that paperwork today, so I'll take no action on it.
Pre-trial release just said, never mind, so I think it was a mix-up.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
So she won't be able to do it today, remember my.
Yesenia Marcano, please state your name for the record. Okay. I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I'm going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're here today in regards to a failure to appear. I find probable cause, and I'm going to set it at no bond. Thank you. Daniel Joseph.
About a week? Yes, for your training. Your Honor, would be challenging probable cause in this case, so no factual basis in the arrest affidavit.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Daniel Joseph.
You're charged with ag assault with a motor vehicle and child abuse. What says the state?
Your Honor, the state would ask for a 24-hour reset to get that probable cause.
Yep, I'll reset 24 hours. Oh, go ahead and state your name, I'm sorry.
Sally Beth Rosario.
Okay, and are you the victim in regards to this case?
I'm sorry?
And you're the victim in regards to this case?
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to reset this case for 24 hours. So what time should she come back tomorrow? Okay, so just come back again around 11 o'clock, okay?
Okay.
In the meantime, he'll still be held with no bond.
I would let you, but they don't.
DeMarcus Miller.
This is April Williams. I don't know where DeMarcus was.
Okay, so, do you want to reset that? Okay, we're going to go ahead and reset that then for 24 hours. April Williams. Okay, go ahead and state your name for the record.
My name is April Williams.
I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the public defender, so I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you today. You're charged with 5 counts. Those 5 counts are battery on a law enforcement officer. Count 2, battery on a law enforcement officer. Count 3, resisting officer with violence. Count 4, battery, domestic violence. Count 5, possession of a controlled substance. I'm finding probable cause on all 5 counts.
We'd be asking for straight pretrial release. She qualifies. She has no failures to appear. She has no Florida convictions. She only has 1 out-of-state arrest.
What says the state?
State seeking monetary bond on all 5 counts, as well as no contact, no return.
I'm going to order on count 1, bond at $1,000. Count 2, bond $1,000. Count 3, bond $1,000. Count 4, bond $1,000. And count 5, bond $500.
What was that in?
$500 on the last one. And then no contact and no return.
Was the PD appointed?
Yes, Public Defender's Office is appointed representative. She does qualify. Thank you.
You have a bond, you can bond out now.
Yilmer Cardona,
Yes, ma'am.
please state your name for the record.
Yomer Cardona.
Okay. I find that you qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you here today. You're charged with battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause.
We'd be asking for straight pretrial release. He has 0 criminal history and no failures to appear.
No alleged victim here, Your Honor. We don't have an alternative address for him. So don't know.
I'm going to go ahead and set that at $1,000, no contact with the victim, no return to the residence.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Beth Gardner. Go ahead and state your name for the record, please.
Beth Gardner.
Thank you. I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with battery, domestic violence, find probable cause, and I'm going to go ahead and set the bond in the amount of $1,000, no contact with the victim.
If we can find a new pretrial release, there's no failures to appear, only 1 failure, or 1 felony conviction.
No, based on the facts of this case, I'm going to monetary bond. Thank you.
Your Honor, no return?
No contact and no return.
One-time return with law enforcement?
I'm sorry?
Would there be a one-time return with law enforcement?
Yes, one-time return to law enforcement. Gregory Lee. Please state your name for the record.
Tell her your name.
Gregory Lee.
Okay, I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're here today charged with battery, domestic violence. I find probable cause for that charge.
We would challenge probable cause. There's nothing in the arrest affidavit that says that there's an unwanted touching.
Let me review it again for a moment. What says the state?
Your Honor, I'm reviewing it quickly.
This is Gregory Lee.
Out of state, Your Honor. He's from Philly, Philadelphia, Your Honor.
Your Honor, there's a witness who states the defendant's hands were around the victim's neck and that there had just been an argument. I think this is probable cause, that the touching was unwanted.
Okay. I am finding probable cause. I'll set bond in the amount of $1,000. No contact with the victim, no return to the scene.
An attorney will come see you within a week.
Patrick Martin. Please state your name for the record.
Patrick Martin.
I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're here charged today with battery, domestic violence.
He has 0 criminal history and 0 FTAs and qualifies for pretrial release.
What says the state?
State seeking a monetary bond.
Your Honor, no alternative address and the alleged victim.
Wait, so.
The alleged victim is here?
The alleged victim isn't here, and
Okay.
I have no alternative address for him.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and find probable cause for the battery domestic violence charge, set bond in the amount of $1,000, no contact with victim, no return. Yes.
If it says here, does it qualify for TTR, how come they're saying that they don't?
When the
It says
alternative,
yes.
when the alleged victim's here, so you can tell whether or not they're gonna be able to go home to that house, and there's no alternative address. Possibly if the judge would like, there's an alternative address, but not when it's, we have to have an alternative address in order to place it.
That's fine.
Jenna Nicholson? Okay, go ahead and state your name for the record.
Jenna Nicholson.
Okay. I find that you do qualify for the appointment in the Public Defender's Office, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause.
Here's, there's a victim present, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead and please state your name.
Jonathan Behringer.
Okay, what would you like the court to know?
Like the court to know,
If you could speak up just a little bit, I want to make
Yes,
sure that
ma'am.
I
Yes,
understand
Your Honor.
everything you're saying.
apologize, Your Honor.
It's okay.
Just, it was a slight argument. Just no contact order I'd like to waive if possible. And
You do want a no contact order? or you
I do
don't?
not want a no contact order.
Are you afraid of Ms. Nicholson?
Absolutely not.
Does the defense like to inquire?
Would you like contact with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you afraid of her?
No, ma'am.
Would you want her to come back to the house and live with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Does the state wish to inquire?
Yes, do you have separate residences?
We are on a lease on the same residence.
Okay. I've got your address as 820 Main Lane, is that, and then her address as 3347 Oakmont Terrace?
That would be her parents' address, but that address you have for me is correct, sir.
Okay. If you had an incident like this in the future, if there was any physical violence, would you feel comfortable calling the police?
I would, sir.
Nothing further from the state.
What says the state on the issue of bond?
Your Honor, the state would be seeking a monetary bond, no hostile contact, and maintain separate residences.
Defense would be requesting pretrial release. Because she qualifies, she has no failures to appear, no history, and given the alleged victim's testimony, he wants contact, he's not afraid of her, and he wants them to live together. So we'd be asking for them to live in the same residence, no hostile contact, and PTR.
All right, I'll do pretrial release. Thank
Could you clarify on the no hostile contact and the
Do
main?
pretrial release with no hostile contact, and she can live in the residence, and the victim did state that he knows how to contact law enforcement should something happen again in the future. And obviously, if something happens again in the future, that might have an impact on PTR. Fawn Armstrong, please state your name for the record.
Fawn Kayla Armstrong.
I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I'm going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're here today charged with possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause for both charges. I'm going to set count one bond at $1,000, count two $100. Thank you. William Black,
Yes.
go ahead and state your name for the record.
William Black.
I don't see the application for the Public Defender's Office. Did you fill one out?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of it?
They don't give the copies to me.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and inquire. Are you employed?
Yes.
How much do you make per week?
I make about $250 a week. I work for a temp agency.
May I approach?
Yes, please. Thank you. Okay, I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office. So I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you here today. You're charged here today with possession of cocaine. I am finding probable cause for that charge. And issue a bond amount of $1,000. Thank you. Catherine Bradshaw.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead and state your name for the record.
Catherine Bradshaw.
Okay, I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with burglary with an assault or battery. I do find probable cause for that charge. Set the bond at $5,000, no contact with victim, no return to the scene. Dwight Brown. Go ahead and state your name for the record, please. Oh, okay. Thank you. Kelvis Contrera El Slerano?
Liriano.
Thank you.
One.
I don't see your application for appointment in the public defender's office. Did you fill one out?
¿Se habla inglés?
Yeah, but they don't call me for nothing.
He said he didn't get one. Would you inquire, please?
Yes. Are you currently employed?
Yeah,
How much do you make?
like 3,000
Per month?
a month.
$3,000 per month? Okay, then you don't qualify for appointment of the public defenders, so I'm not going to appoint them to represent you here today. You can hire your own private counsel. You've got three charges here today: grand theft, third degree, retail theft, $300 or more, and larceny retail theft. I find probable cause for all three counts. Going to set bond. Count 1, $2,500. Count 2, $150. Count 3, $150. No return. Chiron Cook.
Sharon.
Okay, go ahead and please state your name for the record.
Oh, Sharon Cook.
Okay. I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the public defender's office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with possession of methamphetamine. I find probable cause for that charge, and I'm going to set bond in the amount of $2,500. Thank you. Christopher Denson, please go ahead and state your name for the record.
Christopher Benson.
I find you do qualify for the appointment of the public defender's office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with sale or delivery of cocaine. I find probable cause for that charge. What says the state on the issue of bond? Oh, I see that it was set by the previous
Your Honor.
judge, $7,500. You keep it at $7,500. Thank you. Next, we have Ogre Door. Please state your name for the record.
Ogador.
Okay, I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the public defender, so I'm going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're here in regards to aggravated assault with a firearm and criminal mischief. I find probable cause on both charges. What says the state in the issue of bond?
State would ask for the scheduled monetary bond as well as no contact and no return, as it appears the defendant and victim have the same address.
Okay. Count 1, I'm going to set a bond of $5,000. Count 2, I'm going to set a bond of $150. No contact with the victim, no return. And there's an additional case, which is a DUI. Case number, well, that's an agency case number, not a court case number. But in any event, I'm going to take no action on that case today. Vasily Florianovich, please state your name for the record.
Vasily Florianovich.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and find that you do qualify for the appointment of the public defender's office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the public defender's office. I find that there is probable cause for the charge. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $3,500. No contact with the victim, no return to the scene. Rory Halfmeister?
Hafmeister.
Ah, okay, thanks. Did you fill out an application to be appointed to the public defender's office?
He's already represented by Nicole Davis
Okay.
for the clerk's website.
All right, so you're already appointed by the public defender's office, and you're currently here charged with 2 failures to appear. I find probable cause for both failures to appear and set no bond. Thank you. Raymond Harris. He's medical? Okay, we're going to go ahead and reset this within 24 hours whenever he's released. Christina Harvey, state your name for the record.
Christiana Harvey.
I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're currently charged with assignation to commit prostitution. I find probable cause.
We'd ask for a misdemeanor bond. There's nothing in the four corners out in the affidavit that indicates she's been convicted of 2 prior prostitutions, only that she's been arrested.
Let me review the affidavit again. Go ahead and set bond amount of $1,000. Thank you. Sherelle Henry. Please state your name for the record.
Sherelle Henry.
Okay. I find that you do qualify for the appointment of Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. Okay. You're charged with prostitution, third offense, and possession of cocaine. I'm going to find probable cause for both charges.
We would ask for a misdemeanor bond on the prostitution, only says third arrest, no mention in the four corners that it's, there's 2 prior convictions.
Going to set bond amount of $1,000 for count 1, count 2, $150. There is an additional case of possession of methamphetamine, which I'm going to take no action on here today. Kirby Isaacs. Please state your name for the record.
Kirby Isaacs.
I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office. You're charged with assignation to commit prostitution. I do find probable cause.
Same argument, Your Honor, third arrest in the arrest affidavit, no mention of convictions in the four corners. We would like a misdemeanor bond.
Going to set bond amount of $1,000. There is another case of possession of cocaine, paraphernalia, and prostitution. Court's going to take no action on that case. Thank you. Nicole Leibolt.
Yes, ma'am.
Please state your name for the record.
Nicole Michelle Leibolt.
Find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with assignation to commit prostitution, third offense, and I do find probable cause.
It says in the arrest affidavit she has prior history. We'd ask for a misdemeanor bond, no mention of 2 prior convictions.
Let me re-review it.
But nothing in the four corners of the affidavit.
What says the state?
State agrees, Your Honor.
What are you requesting in regards to bond defense?
A misdemeanor bond for this. We're conceding that there's probable cause for prostitution, just not third offense. So whatever the misdemeanor bond amount is for this.
What's the state seeking?
State seeking 1,000, that's the same we've done on the last, I think, 3 cases.
I'll find probable cause for assignation to commit prostitution, set bond at $1,000. Thank you. James McIntosh. Do we have a James McIntosh or no?
I don't have that. The next one I have is Shannon McNair.
Okay. You might have bonded. You might have bonded out? Okay, can you double check that while we move on?
1902 2016. Mm-hmm. 1901, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Please state your name for the record.
Oh, Shannon McNair.
Find that you do qualify for the appointment in the Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with 4 counts: scheme to defraud, grand theft, third degree, forgery, and uttering a forged check. I find probable cause on all 4 counts. I'm going to set bond, the amount of count number 1, scheme to defraud, $2,500. Count 2, grand theft, third degree, $2,500. Count 3, forgery, $1,000. Count 4, uttering a forged check, $1,000.
Your Honor, he has a first offense container for possession of fentanyl, possession of cannabis.
Okay, I'll take no action on that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Charvet Moore. Please state your name for the record.
Charvie Moore.
Okay, fine, she does qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent her today. We've got 2 different cases. One is burglary of a structure, count 1, count 2, criminal mischief. We also have additional case, which is a violation of probation out of county. Do you know what county that is? I think it's
Says Lake.
Lake County. Okay, I'm finding probable cause for all 3 charges. For the VOP, I'm going to order no bond. For the burglary of a structure, $2,000 bond. Criminal mischief, $1,000 bond. No return. Anthony Padilla. Please state your name for the record.
Anthony Roman Padilla.
I'm sorry?
Anthony Roman Padilla.
Okay, so I just mispronounced it. It's Padilla?
Padilla. Padilla.
Padilla, okay, thank you. Okay, you're charged with driving while license suspended with 2 priors and moving knowingly driving while license suspended or revoked, which is a Duelis. Appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Finding probable cause on both counts. Count 1, bond's going to be $2,500. Count 2, $100. In regards to your other case, which is a Duelis, I'm going to take no action today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Miles Penat. Okay, he bonded. Kanisha Price.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Go ahead and please state your name for the record.
Kanisha Price.
I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with assignation to commit prostitution. And finding probable cause. What says the defense in regards to bond?
Yeah, we would just ask for a misdemeanor bond. It just says third arrest in the arrest affidavit, nothing about prior convictions in the 4 corners of the affidavit.
Okay. To $1,000 bond. Thank you. Harold Raspin. Please state your name for the record.
First name Harold, last name Raspin.
Okay. I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I'm going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with 2 counts. The first is possession of methamphetamine. Second is resisting officer without violence. I'm finding probable cause for both counts. I'll issue a bond in the amount of $1,000 for count 1, and count 2 is $100. Thank you. Violetta Thornton.
Yes, Violetta Thornton.
Okay, go ahead and state your name for the record.
Violetta Thornton.
Thank you. I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office. You're charged with assignation to commit prostitution.
Yes.
Find probable cause, will set bond at $1,000. Jeremy Williams. Please state your name for the record.
Jeremy Williams.
Find you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I'm going to appoint them to represent you. You're here today on 2 separate cases. In the first, you're charged with possession of tetracannabinol. Second is tampering with physical evidence. Third is possession of drug paraphernalia.
I
Oh.
think he is an out-of-county warrant, so I think he's just waiting to be picked up by Volusia. They have so much time to pick him up.
Okay, is this Jeremy Williams or no?
Yes.
Okay, so for the out of, let's see. For the out of county, it's violation of probation. I find probable cause and no bond.
As to the possession of tetrahydrocannabinols, he is already bonded on that case?
Yeah, he bonded on all of the criminal charges. He just is being held zero bond on the out-of-county.
On the, yeah. Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Like 24 hours to pick you up. They don't pick you up for release.
Darius Wood, please state your name for the record.
Did we skip over Tyrone White, right?
Let me see. Tyrell White?
Right.
Okay. The bond?
Oh, it was misordered. Okay, I have Tyrone Wright. Is that who you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so then do we still have Darius Wood or no?
I don't have that one. What's he charged with?
Carrying concealed firearm?
Yeah, I didn't see that this morning.
Can you just double check, make sure?
Maybe he bonded.
1901, 2023.
Please state your name for the record. Thank you.
Tyrone Wright, ma'am.
Okay. I'm looking at your application, but there's no periods or commas in regards to your take-home income, so I can't find out, or it's not clear as to how much you're taking home per month.
Well,
Tell her how much you make per month.
about $33,000 a month, something like that.
$33,000 a month?
Not 3,300, I'm sorry.
$3,300 a month?
Where do you get that from?
Okay, I find that you don't qualify for the appointment of the public defender's office then. You're charged with aggravated assault with a firearm. I am finding probable cause. Set bond, the amount of $5,000, no contact with victim, no possessed firearms or weapons, no return to the scene.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's okay, no worries.
I just want to make sure you know who you were.
James
McMahon, ma'am.
McMahon? Find that you do qualify for the appointment of the public defender's office.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I put his David on the back of the withdrawal paperwork.
His what?
His David, his driver's license.
Thank you. You're here today charged with driving while license suspended.
They're just doing your insurance.
Find probable cause, going to go ahead and set bond amount of $500.
Thank you.
Thank you. Maria Neves Rivera? She bonded. Norris Simon? He bonded? Stephen Campbell? Okay. We're back on track. Okay, I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the public defender's office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with resisting officer without violence. Going to find probable cause and set your bond at $500. Thank you.
They'll let you have a chance to call.
Jessica Har, please
Yes,
state your name
ma'am.
for the record. Jessica Har,
Yes, ma'am.
Please state your name for the record.
Jessica Har.
Thank you. I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with possession of drug paraphernalia and retail theft. I'm finding probable cause for both counts. For possession of drug paraphernalia, I'm going to set a bond of $500, and for petty theft, a bond at $100.
We'd ask for her to be released on her own recognizance. She has 0 failures to appear.
Please.
What says the state?
State's going to ask for a monetary bond. She does have a previous grand theft conviction.
How long ago was it?
It's not telling me on here.
It was 2015.
2000 when?
15.
15? I'm going to keep it at the monetary bond.
Oh, is that on?
Thank you. No return.
Can I give it to me?
Vicendi Henry. Please state your name for the record.
It's visiting Henry, ma'am.
Okay. I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Petty Defender's Office, so I'm going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with petty theft. I find probable cause, going to set the bond at $250 and no return to the scene.
She gave you a bond.
Tammy Horn.
Yes, ma'am.
I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the public defender, so I'm going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with assignation to commit a lewd act. Find probable cause, set bond at $500.
Ms. Horn is asking for a reduced bond or to be released on her own recognizance.
What's her prior state?
She has 7 misdemeanors, 1 failure to appear in 2018, 20 unknown dispositions.
I'll keep bond at $500. Thank you. Next is Presley
Presley Hugo.
Hugill.
Hugo, yes.
Is that you?
Yes.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Presley Hugo.
Okay, thanks. I'm going to find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you. You're charged with assignation to commit prostitution. Find probable cause, set bond at $500. You have additional case of possession of heroin, which I'll take no action on today.
Thank you.
Thanks. Naomi Iftikhar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Naomi Iftikhar.
Find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I will appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with the assignation to commit prostitution. I find probable cause. I'm gonna set bond the amount of $500.
She's asking for ROR.
What's her priors?
4 failures to appear, 27 misdemeanors, and 32 felonies.
Nope, keep it at $500. Thank you.
We tried.
Betty Logan, please state your name for the record.
Erica Mignon McClure.
I'm sorry?
Erica Mignon McClure.
Okay, that's someone else that I have. What was happening with Betty Logan? She bonded?
No, Your Honor. With Bede Logan, he was, we have a thing where on the weekends, the fingerprints sometimes get caught in the queue. He's posted his bond, but his
Okay.
fingerprints are still open. Would he be someone that could possibly be released without his fingerprints coming back? If that is,
So
right now, we don't have anything on him. We just have, our preliminary we did was name, date of birth, and gender. Nothing came back. His P&H came back, which means he doesn't have history, but the SID number did not come back. We have to wait for FDLE to clear that in the morning.
Okay.
And he's posted his bond.
Okay,
If
well,
that
maybe,
is allowed, could it be noted on the court order, and we could,
okay, what wording do you want put on the court order?
maybe released prior to Prince coming back.
Okay, that's fine.
So we're not bringing them up?
No.
I just wanted to be clear.
It's bond pending, but
Okay,
is that just so he can get out?
that's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, thank you. Erica McClure,
Yes, ma'am.
please state your name for the record.
Erica Mignon McClure.
I don't see an application for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office. Did she fill one out?
No, I wanted to represent myself.
Okay. If you want to represent yourself, then I'm going to go ahead and put you at the end of the docket, and we'll recall you later. George Rodriguez,
Yes.
please state your name for the record.
George Louis Rodriguez.
Okay, I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the public defender, so I'm going to go ahead and appoint them to represent you here today. Being charged with petty theft, find probable cause, set bond at $500, no return to the scene. Thank you. Jamal Spikes. Please state your name for the record.
Jamal Spikes.
Okay. I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office. I'm going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with the assignation to commit prostitution. I find probable cause, and we'll set bond amount of $500. Thank you.
Thank you.
Robert Staub.
Yes. Hello.
Thank you. Did you fill out an application to the Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you? I don't see that here.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Do you want the Public Defender's Office to represent you?
I didn't think that I really needed the public defender.
Do you want to represent yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put you at the end of the docket then.
Okay.
Larry Uribe. Please state your name for the record.
Excuse me,
Please state your name for the record.
my name,
Yep.
Larry Uribe.
Thank you. Find that you do not qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office. You're charged with trespass on property after warning. I find probable cause. Set bond at $1,000, no return.
He has no criminal history or failures to appear, Your Honor.
What says the state?
Due to the fact that he lives out of state, the state is asking for a monetary bond, but would ask it to be reduced $250.
I'll do $250. Thank you.
Go ahead, you're good.
Scott Williamson.
Ma'am,
Okay, I don't see an application for appointment of the public defender.
representing myself.
Okay, go ahead and put you at the end of the docket.
That was Scott Williamson.
Yes. Jerry Garrett. Jerry Garrett bonded? Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Garrett was also one of the ones that the APHIS, we put him on a live scan and it came back with a quick print, but we haven't been able to clear prints because it's coming back from.
So you need the order to say the same thing on that case?
Yes, if we could say that it could be released.
Can we say the same thing on that order? Thank you. Richard Lewis? I'm sorry? Mental health? Okay, we're going to go ahead and reset this 24 hours once he is released. Suzanne Mahadio? Okay. We'll reset that for 24 hours once she's released. Taisha Anderson? Are you Taisha Anderson? Okay,
Tashika.
great. Go ahead and state your name for the record.
Tashika Anderson.
Okay. Okay, I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office. I'm going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with a couple different things. You've got retail theft and use of anti-shoplifting device on one case, and on another case, you got a VOP. Find probable cause for all the counts. For the VOP, there's going to be a no bond. For the retail theft, I'll set bond at $1,000. For the use of anti-shoplifting devices, I'll set a bond at $150. Thank you. Reginald Jackson?
Yes.
Find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. You've got two separate cases. You've got a violation of probation, which I'm finding probable cause, and no bond. On another case, you have fleeing or attempting to elude law enforcement as count 1, count 2, fleeing or attempting to elude law enforcement, count 3, possession of cocaine, and count 4, driving while license suspended with 2 priors. I'm going to set bond at count 1, $1,000, count 2, $1,000, count 3, $150, count 4, $150. Mercedes Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead and state your name for the record.
Mercedes Johnson.
Find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're here for two cases. The first is violation of probation, which I find probable cause. I'm going to set that at no bond. Second case is retail theft and the use of anti-shoplifting devices. I find probable cause for both charges. Retail theft bond, $1,000. Use of anti-shoplifting device bond, $150. Jerome Taylor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead and state your name for the record.
Jerome Taylor, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. Okay, you're here charged with several different cases, so we're going to go through each of them individually. The first one is violation of probation. I find probable cause and no bond. Second case is failure to appear. I find probable cause, no bond. Third case, violation of probation. Find probable cause, no bond. Fourth case, failure to appear. I find probable cause, no bond. Fifth case, failure to appear. I find probable cause, no bond. Sixth case, I find failure to appear, probable cause, and no bond. Next case, violation of probation, no bond. I find probable cause. Failure for a defendant to appear, find probable cause, no bond. And then finally, we have petty theft with 2 prior convictions. I find probable cause, $1,000 bond, no return. Kenneth Jemerson.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Kenneth Jemerson.
I find that you do qualify for the appointment of the Public Defender's Office, so I am going to appoint them to represent you here today. You're charged with alcoholic beverage, open container. I'm finding probable cause. What says the state?
State seeking a bond of $100. The defendant has a previous failure to appear, previous felony, and some out-of-state arrest and conviction history.
What says the defense?
A nonviolent misdemeanor, we'd ask for ROR.
I'll ROR. Thank you. Samuel Maher.
Sorry, Your Honor, was the PD appointed in that case?
Yes, Public Defender's Office appointed on all charges. Samuel Maherhan?
Majarin.
Majarin. Okay, thank you. I don't see your application for appointment of the Public Defender's Office. Did you fill one out?
Wait, that what?
Do you want a public defender? Do you want someone to represent you? Do you want an attorney? Okay, then go ahead and
Yeah.
tell her that.
Yes.
Okay. Did you fill out a form?
No.
How much do you make per week or per month?
Like 3-something a week.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
3-something a week.
Like, is that 300?
You make something per week?
Like $350 a week.
You make $350 a week?
Yeah.
Okay. How many dependents do you have?
How many what?
Dependents do you
No.
have?
Do you have kids?
I do, but I don't claim anything.
He says he has kids, but doesn't.
He does have kids?
Yes.
How many?
2.
Okay, I'll find you qualify for appointment of Public Defender's Office. You're charged with disorderly conduct. I find probable cause. What says the defense?
We'd be asking for ROR. It's a nonviolent misdemeanor.
What says the state?
State seeking monetary bond. It's disorderly conduct, and it was fighting.
With no failures to appear.
I'll issue a bond in the amount of $250. Wilner Noster, please state your name for the record.
Hello?
Please state your name for the record.
Naster.
Okay. Did you fill out your form for application of appointment of the Public Defender's Office today?
No, I didn't feel. They just give you one, but I didn't feel.
Do you want the Public Defender's Office to represent you here today?
No, I don't need it.
Okay. You want to represent yourself?
We?
Okay.
Yes.
All right, put you at the end of the docket. Thank you. Cheryl Washington?
Mental health, Your Honor.
Mental health. Okay. There's any other cases besides the 4 going at the end? Okay. We'll take them in their order. First one is Erica McClure. Please state your name for the record.
Erica Mignon McClure.
Okay, and it's your choice to represent yourself here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How far have you gone in school?
I quit school in the 7th grade. I done went to Mid Florida Tech before I went to Garden, but I didn't get my diploma.
Okay, do you have any legal experience, knowledge of the law?
I used to work for real estate investors, typing up estoppel letters and stuff. That's it.
Okay. Do you understand the Florida rules of evidence?
Like the statues and
Do you understand them?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. Just for today's purposes only, I'm going to allow her to represent herself. But obviously, if she wants to do that again in the future, the FREDA inquiry will have to be held. I'm going to find probable cause. You're charged with trespass on property after warning. Going to set your bond at $500. Find that you knowingly waived an attorney for today's hearing only. Thank you.
There ain't no way I could plea out.
Not today. Thank you. Wilner Noster. Wilner Noster, please state your name for the record. Go ahead and state your name for the record.
Yes.
Can you state your name for the record?
Master.
Okay. And your choice is to represent yourself today, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm represent myself, ma'am.
Okay. How far did you go in school?
If I'm going to school? Not here, back home, like almost finished school back home, but not here.
Okay. Did you graduate from high school or college?
From college, yeah.
Okay. So do you have knowledge of the Florida rules of evidence?
Yes.
Okay. For today's purposes only and for this hearing only, I'll find that he has waived his right to an attorney. However, a full inquiry will have to be held in the future if he wishes to further represent himself. I find probable cause for the charge of possession of consumption of alcoholic beverage prohibited in public. I'm going to set bond at $250. Thank you. Scott Williamson.
Just for the record, the PD represents him on his other case, the 2019 CF 002479.
Okay. Mr. Williamson, the Public Defender's Office has just informed me that they already represent you in regards to your case for the battery by strangulation and resisting officer without violence. Do you want them to represent you today in regards to your case of possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cannabis under 20 grams? Okay. Do you want to proceed and represent yourself? How far did you get in school?
Oh, 9th grade.
Okay. Do you have knowledge of Florida evidence?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know the Florida Evidence Code or any other statutes?
No, ma'am, no. I'm just trying to get this, the one it came in on for yesterday. I was trying to plea out on it, so just get done. Like I said, I'm kind of new in this, so I'm just trying to get it done and over with.
Okay. In regards to, I will allow you to represent yourself today. However, you'll have to have a full FREDA inquiry if you wish to represent yourself at any other stage in this proceeding. I'm going to find probable cause for possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cannabis under 20 grams. I find that he waived an attorney for today's hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to set a bond at count one, $500, possession of drug paraphernalia, count two, possession of cannabis, $100. I'm going to take no action on the battery by strangulation and resisting officer without violence. That is his other charge. Thank you. Robert Staub, please state your name for the record.
My name's Robert Staub.
Okay, and you wish to represent yourself today, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the highest level of school?
Associates.
Okay, okay, so you got some college?
Yes.
Are you, do you know Florida statutes?
I'm vaguely familiar.
Okay. And you wish to proceed today without an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I find that he's waived his right for an attorney for today's purposes only, but a full FREDA inquiry will have to be heard in regards to the future, in regards to another hearing in regards to this case. He is charged with trespass on property after a warning. I'm finding probable cause for that charge and set bond at $500. Thank you.
Okay.
Was it the last hearing? Okay, I'm going to go off the record because that was our last hearing for the morning. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor, we can. Can you hear us?
Yes. Good. Way
Okay.
better than last weekend.
Oh, they must have fixed it.
I told them to, so
I'm
I'm
very
glad
happy
they're
about that.
listening to me. All right, everyone.
Good.
I'm Judge Gabrielle Sanders. I'm going to be handling initial appearances today. So this is an opportunity for me to review your affidavit and see if there's probable cause for your arrest. This is not an opportunity for you to tell me that you're not guilty and that you want all charges dropped, okay? If I say no contact, that's exactly what I mean. If you hear no contact with victims, no contact with co-defendants, that means exactly what I said. No direct, no indirect, no sending text messages, no direct messages via Instagram, Facebook, anything like that. Let me see. All right, and can I have the representative from the Public Defender's Office announce themselves as well as the State Attorney's Office?
Callie Chrysler, Assistant Public Defender.
State?
Peter Donnelly for the state.
All right, and is PTR in there with you?
Yes, Judge. Officer Dunkirk with PTR.
All right, fantastic. And do we have,
Judge,
yes?
I'm sorry, Judge. We have an individual, Jorge Santiago Colazo. Is there any way we could take him first?
I was actually going to take him first. I just wanted to see if we have an interpreter on the line. Oh, hi.
Thank you, Your
A
Honor.
live interpreter. How are you?
Yes, fine, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Have you been sworn in?
Yes, this morning.
All right, perfect. George Santiago Colazo.
Sí, soy yo.
Yes, that's me.
All right, good afternoon, sir.
Buenas tardes, señor.
You've been arrested
Buenas tardes.
for robbery, petty theft, first offense, and battery.
Usted ha sido arrestado por robo, hurto menor, primera vez, y agresión.
I've reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the robbery, petty theft, and battery.
He leído la affidavit y determinó que sí hay motivo fundado para el cargo de robo, hurto menor y agresión.
Your bonds are listed as to count 1, $5,000, as to count 2, $500, and as to count 3, $500.
Las fianzas son como siguen. Para el cargo 1 es de $5,000, cargo 2, $500 y cargo 3, $500.
All right, hold on. And does he have a public defender? Because I don't have that information in front of me.
I believe he has a public defender on other cases, Your Honor, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Muy bien, tiene un defensor público en otros casos. Gracias.
Yo tengo una fianza a la cual no se ha fijado. Me gustaría saber cuánto es la fianza a la que está en cero.
I have a bond that has not been set. I'd like to know about that. It's at 0.
I don't have any other cases in front of me.
Aquí no tengo ningún otro caso delante de mí.
We're good. We're good.
She just said bond.
She has set bond.
Otro. Yo tengo otra fianza a la cual no se me han fijado, que está en cero. Otro caso anterior.
I
Me
have
gustaría
previous
saber
cases.
cuánto es la fianza.
I have previous cases where bond has not been set. They're at 0. I don't know what they are.
All right, well, you have a public defender assigned to you. Whatever those cases are, I'm sure they'll look them up and they can address it with the judge that is assigned to, okay?
Usted tiene un defensor público asignado. Ellos pueden investigar con el juez correspondiente para ver cuáles son las fianzas en esos casos.
So just for verification, count 1 is 5,000.
Correct.
Un momento. Count 2 is 500, as well as count 3. Can the interpreter please tell the gentleman?
Para aclarar entonces, la fianza en el cargo 1, en este caso es de $5,000. Para el cargo 2 es de $500 y en el cargo 3 también $500.
Ok, Ok, me asignaron un abogado público porque no cuento con recursos. No tengo familia prácticamente aquí, no tengo ningún tipo de beneficio de ayuda.
So I've been assigned a public defender because I have no income and I have no family here and I practically have no help here.
Okay. You do have a public defender assigned to you.
Ya se le nombró un defensor público.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Sir, if you can make an announcement to see if anyone else needs your services.
¿Quién más necesita los servicios de un intérprete?
I see no hands, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, thank you. Ronaldo Ayala Ruiz.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How are you?
Ms. Stavila, how are you? Good to see you. Good, good.
All right, you're here on behalf of Mr. Ayala Ruiz.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here representing him. The family retained me, and I know that usually there's zero bond on VOPs. This is a misdemeanor, but I have a special circumstance. I have documentation here from Osceola Regional Medical showing that he had his gallbladder removed last week. He's in discomfort, Judge. He needs follow-up, and I'm asking the court to consider in this special occasion to put some type of bond so he can get his medical treatment, Your Honor.
All right, I'll give him $1,000 bond. And
Thank you, Your Honor.
that's it. Was that the 18 MM or the VOP? Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Angelo Armstrong. All right, good afternoon, sir. You are here on a violation of injunction case, and it's 2019 MM 1429. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $5,000. You're not to have any contact with the victim in this case. You're not to return to her address. Do you understand that? And
Yes,
does-
Your Honor, I'm not having any contact with her.
Good. Does he have a public defender?
Yes, Your Honor, he does. And also, if PTR is going to be on this case, we would ask for it to be with mental health conditions.
Please.
PTR, is that available?
Judge, we're recommending bond with PTR. Mr. Armstrong is currently already out on bond with PTR. He bonded out on April 11th of this month for the same charge, violation of repeat injunction protection. We're asking for bond with PTR.
Okay. It'll be 5,000 bond with PTR and with the mental health assessment.
It's PTR with mental health conditions, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay, right now.
Thank you.
Abraham Barbosa.
Judge, he bonded.
Okay, thank you. Elliot Davila. Sir, you're arrested for battery. Appears to be domestic. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $500. You're not to have any contact with the listed victim, Yvonne Rodriguez. You're not to return to a location of 1695 Lake Lane, Kissimmee, Florida. PTR, any additional conditions?
No, Judge.
Your Honor, we would ask for a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve personal effects.
Yes, that's fine. And does he have a public defender assigned
you.
to him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Judge, he has two cases as well.
I'm getting to that. There's a violation of probation, 2018 CT 1568. It's an on-view violation. Bond set at 0. Any additional cases I'm missing besides the DUI?
No, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
And the battery is it with or without PTR, Judge?
It's with PTR.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Osigby Donaldson. Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Jess.
Good afternoon, Mr. Donaldson.
Good afternoon.
I've reviewed a affidavit for battery domestic violence. I do find probable cause. It appears that you are also a victim in another case.
Yes, Your Honor, that's true.
All right. You are from New York? Correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you a bond of $500. You're not to have any contact with Jacinia Zayas. Do you understand?
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, PTR.
Judge, I'm sorry. I actually spoke with both individuals separately. Both of them request contact with each other, no hostile contact. Also, Mr. Donaldson does not have any prior history, no criminal history whatsoever. So if at all possible, can we have him direct PTR?
No, it's battery domestic violence. The bond set at $500 and there is no contact. Anything else?
No, Judge.
Thank you. Does he have a PD?
Yes, Your Honor, he does.
Okay, thank you.
Shall I announce if they've been approved before, right after you call them, Your Honor?
If you could do that, I would greatly appreciate it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah.
Your Honor, could I get that defendant's first name?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Oh, Your
probably
Honor, and,
not pronouncing it correctly, but it's Osigbe,
O-S.
Osigbeeme.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Asibiemi.
Osigmimi?
Asobimi? Okay, thank you.
Asibiemi.
Yes. And, Your Honor, may he have a one-time return to his home when he's in New York with law enforcement?
They have separate residences from what I see. There's two different addresses on the affidavit. Do they live together? Because it doesn't say that.
Yeah, we do live together. I put the address that I would be moving to.
Which one is it?
He has the ability,
Is it the
It's the
747?
747. Yes, that's my mother's address.
So both of you all live there?
No, we live at 45 with our kids.
What is the address? Give me the full address.
It's 45 Seabrook Street.
45, what?
Seabrook Street.
Seabrook?
Seabrook.
Okay.
C. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Seabrook Street, and that's in Rochester, New York?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so you're gonna be the one that's gonna not return back to the residence?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, we can do that. Thank you.
And he may have a one-time return with law enforcement, Your Honor?
He may.
Thank you.
I'm gonna call Jacinia Zayas. Is she up there?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Zayas?
She's approaching from the back. Guys, quiet.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're also arrested for battery domestic violence. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond is also going to be set at $500, and that is with PTR. You're not to have any contact with Mr. Donaldson. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, and he's going to be given a one-time assistance with law enforcement to retrieve his personal property from 45 Seabrook Street in Rochester, New York, okay?
Okay.
And she qualifies for the public defender's office.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
And PTR for Mr. Donaldson's case, if I didn't say it, that was bond with PTR.
Okay, Judge, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Stacy Herrera.
She's approaching, Your Honor, and she qualifies for the public defender's office.
Thank you. Ms. Herrera, you have a failure to appear on a written promise in case number 2019 CT 691. Bond is set at $2,999. Thank you. Clayton Matthews.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good
Happy
afternoon.
Sabbath and happy Sabbath and Good Friday.
Thank you. Good Friday to you as well. Now, Mr. Matthews, I'm looking at an arrest affidavit for domestic battery. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond's going to be set at $500 with PTR. As a condition of your bond, you're not to have any contact with Ivis Cruzado. You're not to return to 685 Eagle Point South, and that's Kissimmee, Florida. You will be given a one-time assistance with law enforcement. Any other conditions, PTR?
Judge, I actually spoke with the victim, and she does request contact. Mr. Matthews takes medications, and it didn't mix well, from what I'm told, and this is what concurred out of that result. So I'm asking for a direct PTR on this, even though it is domestic, Judge, but because of the nature of how it came about with the medication, she is requesting, and she is a caregiver of Mr. Matthews.
Ma'am, I'd like to say it was total misunderstanding. And we just recently moved here. I just retired, and we just recently moved here. And the meds went bad, and we didn't put our hands on each other. And it was just a misunderstanding. It was just a lot of loud talking. And we're learning the laws here that
And I also explained to the alleged victim that when officers come to the residence, a person's getting taken away to jail to defuse the situation.
Okay.
To be actual, it was really the one that I was the one to be chosen to go rather than her. I would prefer for me to go rather than her.
Okay, thank you.
Somebody had to go. Or to be honest, someone had to go, and I prefer it had to be me than my wife.
Does he have a public
With
defender
his
sign?
medical no, Your Honor, he does not. He did not fill out an affidavit. Your Honor, given the medical nature of the issue and the fact that his wife is a caregiver and wants contact, and they've been apart for nearly 24 hours as a cool-down period, please, could he have no hostile contact with the victim?
And Mr. Matthews has no prior history whatsoever.
It's still going to be $500 with PTR. We'll do a no hostile contact. Now, Mr. Matthews, no hostile means do not yell and do not be aggressive towards your wife. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a good holiday.
Yes. Michael McDonald?
Judge, he's in the hospital. Can we reset him for tomorrow?
Yes. Mario Ortega?
Bonded, Your Honor. And he does qualify for the public defender's office.
Okay, thank you. Timothy Quatermos, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You're arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia as well as possession of a controlled substance without prescription. I do find
Yes, Your Honor.
probable cause for your arrest. As to count 1, your bond is set at $500. As to count 2, your bond is set at $1,000. And does he qualify for PTR?
Yes, Judge, he does.
Okay, that's gonna be bonds with PTR. As a condition of your PTR, I'm gonna order random drug analysis on this case.
Okay, we don't need to know about that.
Yeah, don't talk about the facts of your case.
Does he qualify for the public defender?
Oh, Your Honor, he didn't fill out an affidavit. I think I missed him this morning, Your Honor. I'll have him fill out an affidavit, and could we be provisionally appointed based on that?
You can,
And
thank you.
I will send that in today. Thank you.
O'Meal Reed.
He qualifies, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
I'm reviewing a arrest warrant for battery domestic violence. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $500. This is with PTR. PTR, have you made contact with the victim, Ms. Erica Reed?
Yes, Judge. Victim requests no contact, no return, and she's going to be filing an injunction. Mr. Reed has one prior battery on the same victim.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Reed, you're not to have any contact with Ms. Erica Reed. You're not to return to the address, which is 1343, actually, no, it's 1119 Oscar Square, Celebration, Florida, 34747. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. You will be given a one-time assistance with law enforcement to retrieve your personal items from the residence. Thank you.
Your Honor, he has 4 kids, which are his dependents and not hers. Is there a way that they could have third-party communication so that he can retrieve the children as well?
In regards to the children only.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
I'll explain that.
Denise Seal.
She's approaching, Your Honor. And she does qualify for the Public Defender's Office.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Can you speak up for me?
Good afternoon.
Okay. I'm reviewing.
Judge, she's hard of hearing.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm reviewing a arrest affidavit for an assault aggravated with deadly weapon. And I do find probable cause for your arrest. PTR, do we have any history?
Judge, she has no criminal history whatsoever. We're actually recommending direct PTR with mental health conditions.
This is an
We
aggravated
were unable to
assault.
contact. Yes, Judge, it qualifies, though.
Oh, I understand that. Your bond set at $2,500 with PTR. You're not allowed to have any contact with Mr. Matthew Shield. There's a no return at 818 Pearson Street. I will give you a one-time assistance with law enforcement to retrieve your items. You're not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. Thank you. Alan Trudeau.
He qualifies, Your Honor, and on the on-view probation, we would like to waive the reading of the charges.
fine. All right, sir. 2019 CF 1359, I've reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause. Your bond's gonna be set at $5,000. As the condition of your bond, you need to make sure you report. In regards to, it's scratched out, so. Regards to 2014 CF 3766, your bond is set at 0.
Yes, Your Honor. So- And I said he qualifies, did I not?
You did, thank you.
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
Vincent Morales.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Doing well, how are you? You're picked up on a VOP for 2018 CF 2394. Your bond is currently set at 0. Does he qualify for the Public Defender's Office?
Your Honor, I did not get an affidavit from him this morning. Did you have a public defender on your other charge?
Yes, they brought that, actually yesterday
Okay.
in the afternoon, they brought me back.
Yes, he had a public defender assigned on his other charge, and I'll have him fill out another affidavit before I leave here.
Okay, thank you. So I'll sign a PD for this case as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Omar Ortiz Marrero. Sir, I have a violation of probation on 2018 MM 1654. And it's currently set at a bond of $500. Does he have a PD?
Again, this was the same sort of issue. I believe he had one assigned yesterday, and I didn't have an affidavit from him today.
So I will provisionally appoint the Public Defender's Office on this case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're very welcome. I don't have any other cases in front of me. Have I missed anyone?
No, Your Honor, you have not. That's everybody in here.
Okay, thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too, Your Honor.
Okay, I have a lot of stuff in front of me. But, hi.
Hi, good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. I had, Gregory Frost up first.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm
Okay,
covering
you're
for Joe-
covering?
Yes, I'm covering for Joe
You're so
Nappy.
nice, Mr. Pius. Look at
Well,
you.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, let me apologize for my attire. I wasn't planning on being here today. I got a call this morning while I was at work, and I had the day off. I wasn't planning on being here. Number one. Number two, thank you for vouching for me to allow me to come up here. With regard to Joe Nappy's case, Gregory Frost, Your Honor, Mr. Frost, I'm sure he's coming up now, is already has a bond on the robbery case in the amount of $2,500. I believe Mr. Nappy and the state have agreed to a $150 bond, no contact. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, $150 residual from the robbery.
Right, which is arising out of the same incident.
Did you find it? Okay, I'll put it to the side. All right, state, you've agreed to 150 on the domestic battery case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and no contact. All right, so I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause for each offense. For count one, $2,500, and that's to count two, $150. Count two is gonna be with PTR, no contact with the listed victim, no return, no weapons or firearms. Anything else, state?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Pius, do you have another client?
I do, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Hassan McCann, Hasina is the first name, McCann, McGann.
Hasim's the last name?
McCann is the last name, Your
Okay,
Honor.
hold on, let me see. All right, got, I have a lot of cases up here.
I see that.
They're all phonies. All right. No. They won't do it at all? Hey, y'all, there's something different in, than Osceola. That's fine, so no PT. Okay. Do I need to reannounce it, or? Yeah. Okay, good. All right, thank you. Here you go. Oh. So good. All right.
You have it, Your Honor?
I do have
Okay,
it.
the state and I have agreed, if Your Honor agrees, to a $2,500 bond, no contact, no weapons, and no drugs or alcohol. My client is a doctor. I don't know why they have the information incorrect. She begins her residency in July at Citrus.
Memorial Hospital.
Citrus Memorial
in
Hospital.
Inverness, Florida.
In Inverness, Florida. She has no priors, Your Honor. So the state has had an opportunity to review the police report and is in agreement with the $2,500 bond, no contact, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol.
All right, I have reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause. I will go along with the $2,500 bond. Condition of your bond is that you have no contact with the listed victim in this case, with any of the witnesses in this case, and that you are not to return to 1467 East Bay Street.
That is fine, Your Honor. Will reside with her uncle, so she's
Alright.
fine with that.
And if you have any additional weapons, you have to surrender them within 24 hours. Right. Right, thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you so much, Your Honor. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yes, wait, don't leave. For Gregory Frost, he
Yes,
doesn't
Your Honor.
qualify for PTR.
He does not or does?
He does not.
Okay.
So it's just straight bonds on each count.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Your Honor. Take care.
Take care. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
All right, we'll do the Spanish. Okay, Oscar Rodriguez.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You're arrested for battery on law enforcement, trespass in structure, and open container. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. Your bond as to the battery on law enforcement is $2,500. Trespass in structures, $100. And open containers, $100. Sir, I need you to fill out the form to obtain a public defender, okay?
Can I?
Are they gonna do it on the weekends? Oh, okay, never mind. Well, I'm gonna temporarily appoint the public defender's office.
Would I be able to get out paying 10% on the bond?
You have a bond.
Usted tiene una fianza. Tiene que hablar con un fiador.
I'm sorry, yes.
Courtney Haley on behalf of the Public Defender's Office.
Hello again, Ms. Daly. And State, can you announce your presence again?
Yes, Peter Donlin for the state attorney.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Judge. Thank you. George Maxwell Jr. Rukia how do you say your last name, ma'am?
Abdurrahman.
All right. I have reviewed an affidavit for petty theft. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $500. It's a condition of your bond, you are not to return to 601 North John Young Parkway, which is the Chevron Food Market,
Thank God. Yes, ma'am.
okay? I'm going to temporarily appoint the Public Defender's Office on this case.
I understand.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, for the previous case, George Maxwell, that we said mental health, is that being reset till tomorrow?
Yes. Roberto Carrillo,
Yes, ma'am.
you're arrested for aggravated stalking after injunction. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $5,000. You're not to have any contact with the listed victim, Mrs. Carrillo. You're not to have any contact, so do not write her, do not speak to anyone to speak to her, so no third-party contact. Do not contact her via social media, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And you also, need to fill out, oh, that's it, oh, never mind, he has a public defender assigned to him.
Your Honor, state's requesting no weapons as well.
Okay, no firearms, no weapons, anything else, State?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Does these states move up? So do you need me to move these cases up or no? Okay. All right. Hector Soares?
Yes, ma'am.
I reviewed an affidavit for violation of domestic violence. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $1,000.
Your Honor, we would challenge probable cause. The listed victim is not in the four corners of the affidavit, nor is any information that that address is prohibited as per the injunction within the four corners of the affidavit.
State?
Your Honor, the officer states that he responded to, and he states the address 78262 Can, and that he did a teletype on the defendant, and the injunction came back, and then he reads it. I think it's pretty clear that it goes to the address that he's sitting there staring at, and that he's already stated in the affidavit.
Okay. I do find probable cause as stated. Your bond's $1,000. Do not contact the victim. Do not go back to her residence. I see that you are out on bond on 2018 CF 17920 for child abuse, battery, one prior, domestic violence, and tampering with the witness. Bond set at $0. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Oh, okay. Oh, you can have her. All right, hold on. Hi, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, can you please state your first and last name for me?
Amy Martinez.
Amy Martinez, you're the listed victim?
Yes, and it's Jamie.
I'm sorry?
Jamie.
Jamie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're the listed victim?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you wish to say anything about this particular case?
I'm actually kind of oblivious to the case in the sense of I'm not sure why he got arrested. There was nobody home at the time that he was arrested.
Okay.
He was working on the car.
It's a violation because he returned to the residence and there's an injunction in place saying that he can't go to that area. So that's why he was arrested.
Okay.
Okay.
So my question would be, how would we change that from a no contact to a non-hostile?
Is that what you're requesting today?
Yes.
Okay, tell me why you want to have contact with him or hostile contact.
We're
No.
married, and
Okay.
I have his son. You understand? And it's pretty difficult not having him in the picture. And my stepson is constantly crying for his dad, and that kind of creates a barrier.
Okay, I do understand your position. However, there's still an active injunction in place.
Okay.
However, he does have an attorney assigned to him. If you do wish to have contact with him, I'm pretty sure they can do a modification, and that can go before the judge that is actually assigned to.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Eric Christian Beck.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Sir, you were arrested for burglary of conveyance with an assault battery therein. I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $5,000. You're not to have any contact with the listed victim in this case. You do have a public defender assigned to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Are you Ronald Burm? Okay. Sir, I have a failure to appear
Yeah,
in front of me, and for 2018 CF 1339080, the bond is currently set at 0 for this case. However, you didn't fill out the application?
He's represented by RCC on this case.
Okay.
We have conflict.
but I was in jail in Osceola on the FTA.
I can't do that because the judge that's on the 28 CF case has already set a bond. So contact your attorney so they can set it for a bond hearing, okay?
Okay, that's what I have to do? Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. John Paul Brundage.
Yes,
Okay. I'm looking at looks like an arrest for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Probable cause has already been found. Your bond has been already set at $10,000. Let me see if there's any conditions listed by the judge. And your conditions of your bond is that you are not to have any contact with the victim. And you do have a public defender assigned on your case, okay? And you have another case already.
What about count 2? What's the bond?
(2019) MM 3278, possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for this offense. I'm gonna reduce your bond to $250. Tyler Vincent Kneeblack. All right. You're arrested for attempted burglary of a conveyance. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond has been set at $3,500. You do have a, do not talk to me about your case, sir. Okay, you hold on. Listen to me. You have an attorney next to you. She's assigned to your case. please, whatever questions you have, go ahead and talk to her first before you talk to me, okay?
Into the car, it's in the arrest affidavit.
Okay, thank you.
Was it? It's a.
Robert Lee Pringle. You're arrested for fleeing and attempting to elude law enforcement officer, reckless driving, and driving with a suspended license. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. In regards to count 1, which is the fleeing and attempting to elude, your bond's gonna be set at $1,000. The reckless driving, first offense, $500, and the driving while license suspended, I believe is as a habitual offender, your bond has been set at $2,500. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Thank you.
Be blessed.
Jamani Sultan. Sir, I'm looking at a failure to appear on 2016 CF 14683. The judge on that case has set your bonds at 0. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Edwin Lawrence Thomas. Mr. Thomas?
Yeah.
I have a failure to appear on 2019 CF 3341. The bonds on that particular case are set at 0. I also have 2018 CF 015686. You are out on bond, and that bond's going to be revoked at this time. And you did not fill out an affidavit, but do you have any information, Ms. Daly, if he had a PD on that 2018 case?
I'm gonna check right now.
He did not?
I'm not sure, let me check real quick.
Madam Clerk said he did not.
Oh, okay.
You retract. For comp? Oh, so you don't know what I'm talking about right now. All right,
We do represent him on that 2018 case. I have it open here in our system.
all right.
So
Well,
if we could please be appointed to the new case.
you can be appointed to the new case, but, okay. So this whole thing has been reset to 5-1? Just the out on bond? All right. So 2018 CF 015686 has been reset to 5-1. Judge Harris,
Ma'am,
all
so
right.
I go to court for all of this on the same thing?
I'll let Judge Harris handle that.
She's figuring it out. Give her a second.
Okay, thank you.
I'm saying, I go to court for all this at the same time? That's what I'm asking.
I'm not sure, but they'll give you some paperwork to let you know, okay?
All right.
No, I'm gonna let Judge Harris handle it. You're welcome. All right, Mr. James Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. You're arrested for 2 counts of burglary conveyance and 2 counts of petty theft, 2 prior convictions. I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause. Your bonds in regards to count one is gonna be $3,500. As to count two, your bond is gonna be set at $1,000. As to count three, your bond is set at $150. And count four, your bond is set at $150. And you do have a public defender assigned to you. Thank you. Ricardo Vargas Barrio.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is a violation of condition of pretrial release. Underlining offense is a battery domestic violence, and that's currently set at 0 bond. Ms. Daly, can you tell me if he,
If we represent him on that case?
yes.
One second. Yes, we do.
Okay, perfect, thank you. All right, thank you, sir.
The report is this one? as
Yes.
well? Okay.
David Alexander Graham. You're arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond is set at $500. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Florencio Rios.
Ma'am.
Sir, you're arrested for trespass on property. It's the railroad. Right, I do find probable cause for the offense. Your bond's gonna be set at $500. As a condition of your bond, sir, please do not return to the area of West Land Street, South Orange Blossom Trail, CSX area, okay? And you do have a PDS stated. Thank you.
She's not gonna let you plead it.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Marquez.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, you're arrested for petty theft and trespass and structure. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond will be listed as such, petty theft, $500, and for the trespass, $100. You're not to return to the Wawa located at 5820 Edgewater Drive. Do have a PD appointed to you. Thank you. Oh, wait, 1 second. So you're out on bond on 2019 CO 37A. I've seen CO before. Okay, is that just another felony case? Okay, okay, well, your bonds can be revoked on that case. Thank you. Terrell Pickett, Marcus Terrell Pickett.
Yes.
Is that you? Okay. You're arrested for trespass after warning. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond is set at $500. As a condition of your bond, please do not return to ORMC, located at 1400 South Orange Ave. Do you have a public defender? Thank you. William Gross.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're arrested for soliciting without a permit. I do find probable cause for that arrest. Your bond set at $500. You were out on bond on 2019 CO. That. Is that 24 or 28? Okay. 2019 CO 242. You were out on ROR. I'm going to revoke that ROR. You're also out on ROR on 2018 CF 011165AO. Going to also revoke the ROR on that case. You do have a public defender assigned to you. On the 2018 CF case? What is this set for? April 26th? Okay. Okay. It's still revoked. He can handle it then. Kimberly Bates. All right. You're arrested for child abuse. I did review the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $2,500. You're not to have any contact with the listed victim in this case. I believe DCF has taken custody of her. Yes, they do.
I believe the child has been sheltered.
Yes, looks like all three have been sheltered. All right, so as indicated, probable cause, $2,500. You do have a public defender assigned to you. No contact. Ruben Crespo. He does not accept this. Thank you. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Crespo. All right, and good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
And what is your name?
Victoria Cintron.
Okay, you're the listed victim in this case.
I am, yes.
Okay. Do you wish to tell me something?
I just came to verify that it was a no contact and for him to be bonded out because he does have kids that need to be tended to.
You still wish to have the no contact?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Sir, you're arrested for domestic battery by strangulation as well as simple battery, domestic violence. I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause. In regards to count 1, your bond is set at $3,500. As to count 2, your bond is set at $500. You're not to have any contact with Victoria Centrone. And please do not return to 5971 Westgate Drive. I will give you a one-time assistance with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items. You're not to possess any firearm or weapons. You understand?
I do.
Your Honor, Mr. Crespo has 0 criminal history in Florida or outside, according to PTR. We would be asking for straight PTR. If the court's not inclined to grant that, we'd ask for you to reduce the bond with PTR.
Your objection's noted for the record in regards to PTR. My bond, as stated, will remain. And he does not qualify for a public defender. So, Mr. Crespo, you're gonna get some paperwork indicating your next hearing dates. Make sure you obtain a lawyer, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Tracy Pearden. All right, you're arrested for child abuse. I do find probable cause for you, this offense. Your bond is currently set at $1,000. It's condition of your bond, you're not to have any contact with Nevaeh Soto. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Jalen Washington? All right. So you're arrested for aggravated battery domestic violence. I reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the arrest. see there's no victim present, your bond is set at $3,500. You're not to have any contact with, is it Mamie Grimmage? And you're not to return to 1601 Claricona Road. You will have a one-time assist with law enforcement to retrieve personal property. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms, and you do have a public defender assigned to your case. Thank you. Yadira Cruz. All right, Ms. Cruz. You're arrested for battery domestic violence. I reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond is set at $500. The listed victim is Natalie Cruz, and that's your daughter. Is that a yes? Yes. All right. And she lives with you?
I live with her.
You live with her. Do you have anyone else you can live with? Yeah. Okay, because I'm going to order no contact for right now, okay? That's fine.
She has liberal criminal history, Your Honor. We'd ask for straight PTR. One misdemeanor conviction.
Your objection is noted for the record. Your bond is set at $500. You're not to have any contact with your daughter, Natalie Cruz. You're not to return to 2100 South Conway Road. You will be given a one-time assistance with law enforcement so you can get your personal property from the house. Do you understand? Okay. And you didn't, oh, you do. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Okay? Thank you. Brett Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Hello, Mr. Davis. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
And are you Christina Marty Melvin?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you're the listed victim in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you wish to tell me something?
At this point, I think I'd rather have no contact.
You would, it's really difficult to hear
I'm
you.
sorry. I think it's best if we do a no contact.
You do a no contact, okay? Anything else you wish to tell me?
I mean, other than he has a severe alcohol problem and he just can't return to my home.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Davis, I've reviewed the affidavit. You were arrested for violation of PTR conditions on domestic violence case. Count 2, it's simple battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause for these offenses. In regards to count 1, the violation of PTR conditions, your bond is set at $1,000. As to count 2, your bond is going to be set at $500. As a condition of your bond, you're not to have any contact with Miss Christina Marty Melvin. You're not to return to her home address.
Yes, ma'am. So how do I get the things that are mine out of there?
Hold on. The address is 4853 North Goldenrod Road, Apartment D. I will give you a one-time law enforcement assistance to retain your personal property. But Mr. Davis, you are here also on 2019 MM 3104. You were out on bond when you obtained these new offenses. So I'm going to go ahead and revoke your bond in that case. You do have a public defender assigned to you.
Your Honor, the state would request no weapons, no alcohol in this case as well.
That's fine. No weapons, no firearms. Okay, are you Mr. Craig? Is it, how do you say? How do you say it?
Freifilter.
Fried filter.
Freifilter, Your Honor.
All right, sir. You were arrested for battery, dating violence. And ma'am, good afternoon. What is your name?
Carly Story.
All right, you're the listed victim in this case.
Yes.
Okay, what do you wish to tell me?
That I do want contact, and he wasn't really intending to hurt me. He kind of just grabbed my hair. We were having a verbal argument, and he grabbed my hair in front of a police officer, and it's just out of character for him.
Okay. So are you stating you're not in fear at this time?
No, I'm not.
Okay. If I allow him to have contact with you and he becomes aggressive towards you, what would you do?
Get out of the relationship.
So you wouldn't call law enforcement?
I mean, if I needed to, I would. He's never done anything like that before.
Do you all currently reside together?
No, we do not.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, given the alleged victim's testimony, we would ask for no hostile contact. In addition to that, Mr. Fryerfeld has no criminal history, and we'd ask for straight PTR since he qualifies.
Okay, state?
State has no objection to no hostile contact, but would ask for a monetary bond.
Sir, your bond is gonna be set at $500. You're not to have any hostile contact with Ms. Story. No hostile means you cannot yell at her, you cannot scream at her, you can't be aggressive towards her, you have to be civil towards her. Do you understand me? Because if you're not, that's gonna be a violation of the court's order.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You do have a public defender assigned to you on this case. Thank you. Edward Henry. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello.
Are you, how do you say your first name?
Naliza.
Naliza, okay, Miss Thomas. You're the listed victim in this case. Okay, do you wish to say something to me?
I'm not sure where the officer got his statement from. He was like trying to coerce us into writing a statement, press charges, and I just kept telling him no, like nothing happened. I don't want him sitting here based off of something that didn't happen, something I didn't say. So that's basically it.
Okay, well, according to the report, it appears that the information that was given is that this defendant struck you in the face and the officer observes a red left eye.
Yeah, my eye's been red I have a scratch in my eye. I barely can see out of it. My eye's been red for like 2-3 weeks already. That had nothing to do. He didn't put his hands on me, so. And I'm not even sure who called.
Okay, so are you saying you wish to have contact with
Yes.
him?
Yes, of course.
Okay, you wish that he returns home?
Yes.
And that you're not afraid of him?
Of course not.
Okay, and if he was, let's just say, to be aggressive towards you or pushes you, what are you gonna do?
Call officers.
Okay, do you wish to tell me anything else?
No.
Your Honor, given the alleged victim's testimony, we'd ask for no hostile contact and that they could live at the same residence.
Your Honor, state seeking no contact and no return to the residence. The defendant's history includes battery, domestic violence, kidnapping, domestic violence, aggravated assault, domestic violence, and probation violations.
Thank you. Mr. Henry, your bond's gonna be set at $500. You're not to have any contact with the listed victim, Ms. Nelza Rose Thomas. You're not to return to the residence. I will give you a one-time assistance with law enforcement to retrieve any personal property that you may have at the home. You're not to have any firearms or weapons, and you do have a public defender assigned to you. Thank you. Christy Phelps.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. All right. I have a arrest affidavit for battery, domestic violence against Mr. Carl Phelps, who's your husband. I do find probable cause for your arrest. And I know Ms. Daly is gonna ask me for straight PTR. Right, Ms. Daly?
I'm sorry?
I said, I know you're gonna request a straight PTR, correct?
Well, no, because she doesn't qualify.
Okay.
Because you live in the state.
You live in South Carolina?
Yes, ma'am. Will I be able to go home with my husband when we check out of our hotel?
The thing is, your husband's not here.
I couldn't contact.
Couldn't contact him?
No, ma'am.
Say, what do you say about contact?
In the absence of the husband being here to testify that he's not afraid, I would be asking for no contact.
She has 0 criminal history on her.
You said you have a flight that's leaving?
We're just supposed to check out of our hotel and go home.
When are you going
We were
home?
here for vacation at Universal. We've been married 16 years. We got in an altercation. It was wrong, Your Honor, for me to touch.
Don't tell me anything about your case.
I'm sorry.
Did y'all drive down here?
Yes, ma'am. We did.
Okay. And when are you going back?
Tomorrow.
All right. Your bond's gonna be set at $500 because I do find probable cause for your arrest. Because this just happens and the victim's not here, I can't do a no hostile contact. It's gonna be no contact at this time. I am going to provisionally appoint the public defender's office to you, and perhaps you all can do a modification so y'all can go back home together, okay?
When can I get the modification?
Samantha Creedy. Okay, you were also arrested for battery, dating violence. The listed victim is Andrew Coleman, who is not present. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $500. You're not to have any contact with Mr. Coleman. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. She has no criminal history on her. We asked for straight PTR.
Your bond's set at $500. And I'm gonna, you didn't fill out a application, but I know they don't do it on the weekends, but I'm gonna provisionally. Oh, okay. You didn't fill out a application for public defenders?
My dad got me a lawyer.
Okay.
So I last talked to him last night. I do have a lawyer.
Okay, good. So, you're gonna get some paperwork with some dates. Make sure your attorney's with you when, you have your next hearing, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I misunderstood you. I thought it was like, no. Okay, thank you. All right, Eric Tunstall?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you and your wife were arrested? All right,
She's to be arrested apparently at a later date.
okay.
But
I have reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at, before I ask you about your bond, is he? Okay, thank you. All right, your bond's gonna be set at $500. This is with PTR. As part of your PTR conditions, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol. You're not to have any contact with Suzanne Tunstall. And you are not allowed to return to 5122 Log Wagon Road. You also did not fill out an affidavit for the public defender's office. Are you gonna hire your own attorney?
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Okay, well, you're gonna be given some paperwork. I need you to, make sure that your next date, you have an attorney, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it Unique Young?
Unique.
Unique Young, all right. You're arrested for battery, domestic violence, and criminal mischief. The listed victim is your sister,
Yes, ma'am.
and that's, what is it, Sakai?
Sakai, yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have anyone else you can go live with?
No. I mean, I have friends I can call, but I don't actually know too many people out here. I'm from New Jersey.
You said you're from Jersey?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, but y'all live in Orlando now, right?
Yes.
Do you wish to have contact with your sister?
Not really, but I sent my girlfriend to go to her house yesterday to get my things, and she told me that, or told her, because of her window is broken, and she said that she's not gonna give her my things or release my things to her until she gets some type of money.
Got it.
So I don't think that she can actually do that. So is there a way that I can have somebody go with me to get my things?
Yes. So I do find probable cause for the battery and criminal mischief. As to count 1, your bond's gonna be $500. As to count 2, your bond's gonna be $250. I will order no contact with Sakai Key. No return to the residence. I will give you a one-time assistance with law enforcement to retrieve all your personal property.
Okay.
Okay?
I have a question.
And you do have a public defender assigned to you. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Andre Ashley,
Yes, ma'am.
sir, you're arrested for possession of a weapon or firearm by a convicted felon. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond is set at $4,000, and you do have a public defender assigned to you.
Mr. Ashley is asking for a reduced bond, given that he's indigent. A bond he cannot afford is tantamount to no bond for an indigent person.
State?
Your Honor, it's on the defense to prove that he's indigent, prove that he can't pay. Do you have anything stating that?
PTR, I don't have my sheet in front of me. Well, I know that. How's his history?
He had several batteries, assaults, possession of drug paraphernalia, several resisting without violence, trespasses, controlled substance, aggravated batteries, battery with assault and battery, several of those. There's a homicide listed with unknown disposition on it, a vehicle theft, possession of firearm by convicted felon.
Okay. Thank you. Your bond will remain at $4,000.
And Your Honor, the state's also requesting no weapons.
No weapons, no firearms.
Is the public defender appointed?
Yes. Brandy Bartholomew. Bonded, okay, thank you. Are you Mr. Eric Beck? Nope.
No. Andrew Bejo.
Oh, okay. Andrew Burgo?
Bejo, yes, ma'am.
Burjo? Burjo. You're arrested for driving on license suspended, habitual offender, fleeing and attempting to elude. I do find probable cause for these offenses. Your bond as to count 1 is $2,500, and your bond as to count 2 is $1,000. Condition of your bond, please do not drive unless you possess a valid driver's license. You're also here on 2019 CF 5528. for vehicle theft, possession of controlled substance without a prescription, and resisting officer without violence. I do find probable cause for these offenses. As to the grand theft of a motor vehicle, your bond is set at $1,000. For possession of controlled substance without a prescription, your bond is set at $1,000. And resisting officer without violence, your bond is set at $500. You do have a public defender assigned to you on all cases.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin Bosley. So you're arrested for burglary of occupied structure, grand theft third degree, as well as criminal mischief. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. Your bond as to count 1 is $5,000. Your bond in regards to count 2 is $150. And your bond as to the criminal mischief is set at $100. You do have public defender assigned to you. Samuel Celestine. Thank you. Is it Negus Christian?
Yes.
Sir, you're arrested for possession of meth with the intent to sell, possession of cocaine with the intent to sell or deliver, possession of cannabis with the intent to sell and deliver. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. Your bond is set at, as to count 1, $15,000. As to count 2, $150. And as to count 3, $150. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Julius Cooper. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
We'll waive the reading of the charges, Your Honor.
You're arrested. I did review the arrest affidavit. I do find probable cause. Your bond is set at $5,000. As a condition of your bond, please report.
I was there. I was just late.
You have a public defender assigned to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Sean Castillo. Good afternoon, sir. You were arrested for driving while license suspended, 2 prior convictions, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of cannabis. I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause for your arrest. As to count 1, your bond is set at $2,500. As to count 2, I'm going to reduce your bond to $100. And as to count 3, your bond is set at $500.
Thank you.
Now, hold on. Looks like you don't qualify for the public defender's office. Are you going to hire your own attorney?
I guess so.
Okay. All right, well, I need you to do so before your next court date, okay? All right, have a good day. Jake, how do you say your last name?
Eichstadt, ma'am.
Eistad?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you're arrested for petty theft, 2 prior convictions, 2019 CF 55551, 55551. Okay, that's a lot of 5s. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $1,000. You were out on bond on 2018 CF 013225.
Yes, yes,
Has-
ma'am.
Has that case been set for anything? June 20th, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and revoke your bond on 2018 CF 013225. And you do not qualify for the Public Defender's Office, so make sure you hire your own attorney before your next court date, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Tyler Farina? In case 2019 CF 5532, you were arrested for possession of fentanyl, possession of cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for each offenses. As to count 1, your bond is set at $1,000. As to count 2, your bond is set at $150. And as to count 3, your bond is set at $100. You do have a public defender assigned to you. You were out on bond, I believe it's the Osceola case, 2018 CF 2656. I'm going to revoke that bond at this time. Okay, thank you.
What was the bond amount on the second one, please?
$150.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Zenephis Ferguson.
How you doing?
Doing well. How are you? All right, Mr. Ferguson, you're arrested for possession of methamphetamine with intent to sell, possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver, and possession of cannabis with intent to sell and deliver. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond is to count 1 is set at $15,000. Your bond is to count 2 set at $150. Your bond is to count 3 set at $150. There's a lot of co-defendants on this case, but you do qualify for a public defender, so I guess you all will.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
There's a lot of co-defendants on this case, and I've already appointed.
What you are, usually they appoint us to all the cases and then our office
You
sorts
guys
out
gonna just
who we're gonna
conflict out?
represent and who we're
Okay.
not.
All right, sounds good. You do have a public defender for now.
Mr. Ferguson is asking for you to reduce his $15,000 bond to something a little bit more affordable.
Not at this time.
Mr. Ferguson?
Tammy Fout, where's Miss Bonded? Okay, thank you. Carlos, is it Galvanez?
Gavilanes?
Gavilanes.
Yes.
Okay. Sir, there's a failure to appear on case number 2017 CF 16031. The judge on that case has set your bond at 0. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Okay, thank you. Stevie Haney.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you're arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree.
Ma'am.
Don't tell me anything about the case. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond is set at $2,500. You do not qualify for the public defender's office, so your next court date, you need to make sure you have an attorney, sir. Okay, thank you.
If they say you're not eligible, I think it has to do with the crime. You're not eligible for PTR. It says no.
All right, Mr. Humphrey. Mr. Humphrey, you were arrested for possession of meth with the intent to sell, possession of cocaine with the intent to sell and deliver, and possession of cannabis with the intent to sell and deliver. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. As to count one, your bond is set at $15,000. As to count two, your bond is set at $150. And as to count three, your bond is set at $150. You do have the public defender assigned to you on this particular case. You have a few cases that you're out on bond for. 2019 MM 804. Gonna revoke your bond on that case. You are also RWARD on case 2018 CF 11502. Gonna revoke your bond on that case. 2017 CF 8880. You are also out on bond, going to revoke your bond on that case. That is all. Thank you.
Mr. Humphrey wants me to ask you if you would take no action, given that he is a child and lots of outside obligations, student loans, he's a child to take care of.
I do understand that you have several cases right now pending, so my ruling stands.
Ask for a bond motion from your attorney. I told you this was gonna happen. Sorry.
Mr. Glenroy Jafat.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, you're arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions and leaving the scene of a crash with property damage. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond as to count 1 is gonna be $2,500, and as to count 2, your bond is set at $100. You're out on bond previously on 2019 CF 441980, which is another driving while license suspended. I'm going to revoke your bond on that case.
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you going to be hiring your own attorney?
No, Your Honor.
Let me see if we represent him on that other case. I don't have any record that he represented on that other case.
Do we know anything about? Okay. I'm going to provisionally appoint the public defender's office. Efrain Jimenez.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a failure to appear. Case number 2017 CF 7367. Bond is currently set at 0. Are you going to be hiring your own attorney,
I
sir?
have hired Corey Cohen.
Okay, Mr. Cohen, all right, thank you.
Associate Leah. All right, thank you.
Isaiah Khan? Bonded, okay. Suzanne Machado?
Medical, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, we're reset. Ricky Marcano?
Mental health.
Okay, we'll reset. Marcelo Masonette?
Yes.
Sir, you're arrested for fleeing and attempting to elude. You do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $1,000. In case 2019 CF 5493, you're arrested for aggravated assault on law enforcement with a deadly weapon. Your bond is set at, I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond is set at $5,000. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Am I missing a case? 1 second. And you were also arrested on 2019 CF 5494, which is another fleeing attempting to elude with lights and sirens. Your bond's gonna be set at $1,000 on that case as well. And the public defender is assigned in all cases. Thank you. Yes, I have 3. It's for the Mr. Richard Owens? Oh, who's he? Morrison? Oh, sorry. Got mixed up. All right, Mr. Michael Morrison.
Yes.
Right, sir, you're arrested for grand theft motor vehicle. I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond is set at $2,500. You were also arrested in case number 2019 CF 5557, possession of fentanyl. I do find probable cause for this arrest. Your bond is set at $1,000. And you do have the public defender's office appointed to you for both cases.
Your Honor, Mr. Morrison wants me to let you know that he's on Social Security. He cannot afford those bonds. He's asking to reduce one of the bonds.
Yeah.
PTR has his history.
He has, one felony conviction, 3 misdemeanors, 4 FTAs, 7 unknown dispositions, grand theft, this is convictions, as well as his county ordinance violations, resisting officer without violence. His arrest history is dealing in stolen property, trafficking stolen property, possession of drug paraphernalia, battery upon a pregnant person, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, possession of controlled substance, BOP, DUIs, and drugs.
Your bonds will remain. Thank you.
Your attorney doesn't have me try it out. I just came today.
Richard Owens?
How much?
Mr. Owens, you're arrested for trafficking in methamphetamines. As to count 1 and as to count 2, possession of methamphetamine with intent to sell. I have reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause for your arrest. As to count 1, your bond is set at $100,000. And as to count 2, your bond is set at $150. You also have another case that you were out on bond for, which is 2019 MM2681. I'm going to revoke your bond at this time. Sir, are you going to be getting your, oh, never mind. It appears that you qualify for the public defender's office, so they are going to be appointed on this case. Thank you. Alexis Peterson.
This is Mr. Oxygen, Your Honor. He was originally gonna be Creole, but he says he's good for
I'm sorry, what was the last name?
Oxygen, the interpreter for Creole.
Is it all the way in the bottom? Yes, got it. Right, sir, you're arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond is set at $2,500. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Do not drive until you obtain a valid driver's license, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Alexis Peterson? Yes? Is that your name? You have to say yes.
Yeah, I'm the flesh and blood person.
All right, sir, I'm looking at a failure to appear, case number 2015 CF 1585. There is a 0 bond set in this case, and you do have a public defender assigned to you. Thank you.
He's represented by regional counsel, Your Honor.
Okay,
Can I not
thank you.
have the- Ma'am, can I not have the public defender, please?
You don't have a public defender.
You don't.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Lisa Rivera? Ms. Rivera, you have a failure to appear in case 2018 CF 14432. The judge in that case has set your bond at 0. Ma'am, do you have your own attorney? Are you going to hire your own attorney?
The public defender was on the case, Natalie Moher, and I showed up to court. FTAs, I don't know why they have me on that. I was at court.
I'm going to appoint the public defender on this case, okay?
We do represent her on this case.
Perfect, thank you. Makai Shellman?
Micah.
Michael?
Micah.
Micah. All right, thank you. All right, sir, you're arrested on 19 CF 5576 AO for possession of methamphetamine with an intent to sell, possession of cocaine with intent to sell and deliver, possession of cannabis with intent to sell and deliver. I have reviewed this affidavit. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. As to count 1, your bond is set at $15,000. As to count 2, your bond is set at $150. And as to count 3, your bond is set at $150. And you do have the public defender assigned to you. Thank you. Marcus Sharif.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you were arrested for possession of firearm and commission of felony, grand theft, third-degree motor vehicle, and possession of cannabis, more than 20 grams. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. As to count 1, your bond is set at $5,000. As to count 2, your bond is set at $8,000. And as to count 3, your bond is set at $1,000. You do have a public defender assigned to your case. Thank you. Bradley Smith. Sir, I have a failure to appear in case number 2018 CF 15772. The judge in this case has set your bond at 0. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Melvin Smith. Right. Sir, you're here on case number 20 CT 3007. It is a driving while license suspended. I do find probable cause for your arrest, and your bond is set at $500. You also have case number 2019 MM 3293, providing false identification on law enforcement. I do find probable cause for this offense. Your bond is also $500. You do have the public defender assigned to you on both of those cases. I also have a failure to appear on 2018 CF 12643 AO. The judge on that case has set your bond at 0. Okay, thank you. Christina Marie Soto. Case number 2019 CF 5537. You're arrested for possession of cannabis and possession of cocaine. I've reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond as to count 1 is $100, and your bond as to count 2 is $1,000. You do have a public defender assigned to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Raymond
Pierre, ma'am.
Okay, Pierre? Pierre, okay. This is a failure to appear on 2018 CF 15498. The judge on that case has set your bond at 0. You have another case, 2018 CF 17768.
We'll waive the reading of the charge.
That bond is also set at 0. And You have a new case, 2019 CF 5555. I'm sorry? That's a different one? Oh, nope, that's not you. Just kidding. It was attached to something else. Okay, so you just have these two cases, and you do have a public defender assigned to you, okay? Thank you. All right. Felix Urena,
Devon, Your Honor.
Quentin Walker,
Mental health.
Katrina Crocker. All right. All right, Ms. Crocker, I am looking at a failure to appear on 2018 MM 6367. The judge in that case has set your bond at 0. And are you going to be hiring your own attorney? Okay, did you previously have a public defender assigned to you?
Well, when I tried to sign up for one just a while ago, they said I already had one. I didn't know, I don't know how, I just came from Volusia County, so I don't know if they didn't.
Okay. You'll have a public defender assigned on this case, okay?
Is there another court date being issued?
There's gonna be a court date given to you.
Okay.
Harold Metheny. Sir, you're also here on a failure to appear, case number 2019 MM 1103. And the judge in that case has given you a bond of $250. And you do have a public defender assigned to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Derek Talleyrand, how do you say your last name?
Talleyrand's fine.
Talleyrand?
Yeah.
Okay, is that how you say it?
It's French, so like
Well, say it in French.
Talleyrand.
Talleyrand, all right. You are here on a failure to appear, case number 2018 MM 10511. The judge on this case has given you a bond. The bond is, as to count one, $1,000, and as to count two, $100. And you do have, let me see, are you gonna be hiring your own attorney?
No, man.
All right. Did he previously have a
No,
public
we
defender?
were not previously appointed. It looks like this is a pretrial diversion rejection, so he probably went on PTE without an attorney.
All right, I'm gonna provisionally appoint the public defender's office on this case. Alice Temple. All right, Ms. Temple. This is a failure to appear on 2019 MM 2543. The judge on this case has given you a bond of $500. You also have a case, 2019 MM 3286. It's possession of drug paraphernalia. I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond is set at $500. You do have public defender assigned to you on each of these cases. Thank you. Okay. Frederick Landon?
Landon, yes.
You have a failure to appear on 2018 CT 7313. The judge on that case has set your bond at $5,000. You also have a VOP 2017 CF 5037A. You're out on bond on this case, so I'm going to revoke your bond on this case.
Your Honor, this is a failure to appear. He didn't commit a new law offense, so we can't revoke the bond.
State, they didn't revoke his bond when he obtained the 2018 case? Driving while license suspended?
Checking that right now, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. On what date?
He bonded out on his VOP on, April the 12th.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm not sure if that's what the public defender is saying.
Well, I'll take no action on 2017 CF 50378. Hope Elizabeth Garcia. Ma'am, you have two cases. The first one is 2018 CT 5391, and that is a failure to appear. Your bond is set at $2,000. You have a new case, 2019 MM 3273, and your bond is $250. You do have a public defender assigned to you on these cases. Jonathan Lopez.
Your Honor, sorry, PC found in that last case? Oh,
Yes. All right, Jonathan Lopez? He bonded, okay. Amal Douglas?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, sir, you're arrested for trespass on property, 2 counts of that, as well as resisting officer without violence. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. As to count 1, your bond is set at $500. As to count 2, your bond is set at $100. And as to count 3, your bond is set at $100. As condition of your bond, please do not return to West Land Street Road, South Orange Blossom Trail. So the CSX railroad tracks, that area. You understand? You do
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
public defender assigned to you.
Mr. Douglas, let me ask you if you recall this case today.
No.
I don't know why it's sitting there.
Jesus Gonzalez Quintero.
You bonded, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Timothy Johnson.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
All right, sir, you have 2 cases. You're arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for that offense. Your bond is set at $500. And there's another case, alcoholic beverage open container. Gonna go ahead and ROR you on this one. You do have a public defender assigned to you.
Your Honor, would you consider ROIing him on the possession of paraphernalia? This is a nonviolent misdemeanor, and it is the state's bond policy to advocate for ROR.
State?
Your Honor, based on his criminal history, I would not be advocating for ROR in this case. He's got 8 felonies, 13 misdemeanors, and 2 failures to appear.
$500 it is. Richard Lewis?
Mental health, Your Honor.
Thank you. Nadia Ramos? All right, Ms. Ramos, I'm looking at 2019 MM 3280, it's trespass on property. What is going on with this area? CSX Railroads, okay. I do find probable cause. Your bond is set at $500. As a condition of your bond, please do not return to West Land Street Road, South Orange Blossom Trail, which is the CSX Railroad tracks. You're out, oh, wait a minute. You have another case, 2018 CF 2786. It's a battery, domestic violence, and a violation of pretrial conditions. I take it you're supposed to go into a pretrial diversion. Has she been revoked, state? Or kicked out of PTD?
Your Honor, do you have the case number for that?
Sure, it's 2018, says CF 2786. It can't be right, because I know it's a misdemeanor. It is Osceola, yeah.
That case is no info, Your Honor, on 314.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking the wrong person.
We're looking at the wrong county. I'm sorry, can I get the number again? 20,
Sure, I have 2018 CF 2786. It's an Osceola case.
I don't have anything that says been revoked, but it
Okay.
appears it's been set for a pretrial conference and a trial since the PTD, so.
Okay, all right, well, I won't take any action on this. Thank you.
So what's going on? You can bond out on that. Do I have a bond? Yes. Even though I have a hold? Yes.
Evelyn Redden?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
All right.
Good. All right, Ms. Redden, I am looking at an affidavit. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia as well as possession of alcohol on sidewalk.
Yes.
I do find probable cause for your arrest. As to count one, I'm going to reduce your bond to $250. As to count two, I will ROR you on count two. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Okay?
So the first one is $250.
Yes, ma'am.
The possession of drug paraphernalia.
Yes.
And the second one is R&R. Well,
Correct.
so pretty much that's thrown out.
I'm sorry?
It's
The
not thrown
bill.
out, they're just, you don't have to pay a bond to get out, that's all.
Okay, thank you.
You just have to pay that.
Okay, thank you.
Zarek Williams.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right, Mr. Williams, I am looking at an affidavit for trespass on property after warning and petty theft. I do find probable cause for your arrest for each of these offenses. So for the trespass, your bond is gonna be $500. And as to the petty theft, your bond's gonna be set at $100. As a condition of your bond, please do not return to the Neiman Marcus at the Millennium Mall located at 4170 Conroy Road. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. So I do have a bond to get out today.
Yes, I just gave you a bond. You do have a public defender assigned to you, okay?
Thank you so much.
He's out on, oh, you're out on bond? On the, oh. For the 2019 case, hold on. All right, Mr. Williams, you're out on bond on 2019 CF 1503A. Is this set for anything? Do we know?
It's set for case management on June 3rd, and then pre-trial on July 2nd, and trial on July 15th.
All right, Mr. Williams, because you have a new law violation, I have to revoke your bond on the 2019 CF 1503A. You do have a public defender assigned to you, so perhaps they can file a motion for bond on this case in front of the judge that is assigned to, okay?
Your Honor, we're not appointed on that case, would you please appoint us on that CF case so we could do a bond motion call?
Yes, PD's appointed. Derek Fisher?
Mental health, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
No?
Isn't that inmate number on that, Derek Fisher?
It's an out-of-county.
1901-1746.
Okay, okay, great, thank you. Francois Brown?
Francois Brown is mental.
It's mental health, okay. Kaylee Michelle Rotz, how do you say your last name?
Kalia Michelle Rockowitz. And
Rotzwitz,
hello.
Kalia. All right. So you were arrested for possession of marijuana over 20 grams, as well as drug paraphernalia. I did review the arrest affidavit. I do find probable cause. Your bond as to count 1 is set at $1,000, and your bond as to count 2 is set at $500. And are you going to be hiring an attorney?
No, I have a public defender. However, well, that's what I signed for. However, I was going to speak about
Before she mentions that, I was gonna challenge probable cause because there's no, in the four corners of the affidavit, the marijuana wasn't tested, nor did, the defendant make any admission, so there's no probable cause to believe that it was marijuana.
State?
Your Honor, my papers are now out of order. Can I get the last name here?
The last name?
Yes.
It's Rotkewiczz. Thank you. There is probable cause for cannabis. In regards to weight, now, that's something different. Are you making an argument as to weight?
I mean, yeah, I'll let that too, as far as whether it's misdemeanor, but I'm not even conceding that it is marijuana. It looks like this has already been reset once.
Okay. State?
Your Honor, the officer states in that I searched the center console and located a small amount of marijuana. Based on an officer's training and experience, there is probable cause. He doesn't need to test it, even, that's the state attorney's policy that we test it. But for the legal purposes of probable cause, you don't need to test the marijuana for the officer's training and experience to suffice.
What's your argument for the weight portion of it?
As to weight, Your Honor, the officer's training and experience about having dealt with drugs and knowing the weight of cannabis, whether or not it's more or less than 20 grams.
All right. I do find probable cause. In regards to weight, you guys can duke it out if the state does decide to charge it as a felony or misdemeanor. I will reduce the bond to $500 and keep the $500 on the possession of drug paraphernalia.
If she does qualify for PTR, we'd ask if she's eligible for direct PTR.
No, I'm not gonna do direct PTR.
Okay.
She does have a public defender assigned. Regina Wells? Ms. Wells? You were arrested for driving a license suspended with 2 prior convictions and attaching tag unassigned to vehicle. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. In regards to count 1, your bond is set at $2,500. In regards to the second count, I'm gonna go ahead and reduce your bond to $150. (2019) MM 3259, false information on law enforcement. I do find probable cause for that arrest, and your bond's gonna be set at $500. And ma'am, are you gonna be hiring your own attorney?
No, I have a public defender.
Did she fill out the affidavit?
I don't have an application. So no, but I will temporarily appoint the public defender's office.
Can I
Jo-
get the bond amounts on the first case, the driving while license suspended?
The Dwellis was $2,500, and then I reduced count 2, which is the attaching tag, to $150.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Joshua Fennell.
He's medical, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Archibald Green. Mr. Green, you're here for a failure to appear on 2018 CF 5382. The judge on that case has set your bond at 0. You also have a violation of probation, which is 2017 CF 6727. Your bond is 0 on that case as well. You do have a public defender assigned on these cases.
Yeah, right now.
Thank you. Okay, I'm definitely not gonna say this last name correct, so Jesse, how do you say your first and last name?
Jessiram Juez Rivera.
Okay, all right, Ms. Rivera. You were out on bond, let's see, this is a violation of probation for a possession of a cocaine case, and that's 2018 CF 2770. And there's a 0 bond on this case. Are you going to be hiring your own attorney?
I have my own attorney already. His
Okay.
name is Chad Siebel.
Seibel?
Yes.
All right. So have Mr. Seibel appear for your next court dates, okay?
When is my next court date?
They're gonna give it to you.
Pardon. Thank you.
Keith Anthony McCoy.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You're here on a violation of probation, case number 2017-5603. That bond is currently set at 0, but no, you don't. Did you have a public defender assigned to you?
No, ma'am. I actually thought my attorney was going to be here today to represent me.
Okay. Make sure your attorney, whoever you have on this VOP, make sure that they show up in your next court date, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Zane Suggs. Right. Sir, you're also here on a violation of probation in case number 2017 CF 5503. The bond on that case is set at 0. Are you going to be hiring your own attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, make sure that attorney shows up at your next court date, okay? Thank you. Mr. Freddie Brown. Mr. Brown, you're arrested for camping out in the area of South Paramore. I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause. However, I'm going to ROR you on this one, okay? Now, you didn't fill out an affidavit for the public defender's office. I will. Thank you. Lucky Hollander.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I am.
All right, sir, you were arrested for soliciting without a permit. I do find probable cause. State, what's going on with 2019 CF 23 3A?
Give me the case number one more time.
I'm sorry?
Could you give me the case number one more time?
Sure, it's 2019 CF 00233AO. states that true, hasn't been filed on?
I think I'm looking at the wrong county. It's the Orange or Osceola case.
Since it has the AO, it's Orange.
Yeah.
Oh, the case number's wrong on the face sheet. It's,
Is it?
yeah, it's, I searched the same. It's 2019 CF 00, and it's 2333. There's 3 threes.
Oh, okay.
So that
Well,
might be why I can't find it.
okay. Did you get that, State?
Yes, Your Honor. There, no charges have been
No
filed.
charges, all right, I won't take any action, and I'll ROR you on the soliciting case. James King? Mr. King? You were arrested for camping in a prohibited area. I do find probable cause, however, I'm going to ROR you on this case, and I'm going to provisionally appoint the public defender's office to you. Byron Moore,
Yes, ma'am.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You were arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to ROR you on this offense. I'm also going to appoint the public defender's office to you provisionally, okay? Have a good day. All right, I think we're done, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everyone.